What was my question? What did I ask you?
Yeah.
What did you ask me?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd already answered what I asked you and I'd moved on.
So what did I ask
But
you?
ask
Can
me
you just,
again,
can you
I'll
just
answer.
remind me? No, wait. Can you just remind me what I asked you? Have you forgotten what I asked you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, so you just rambled for like 30 seconds to a minute, having no fucking idea what I just asked you. You just ignored my question. Am I here right now? Am I a human being? I'm sorry. What the fuck? If I hypothetically like shat on your mum's face and then you called me out for it and I said, oh what? So I just have to hold it in. I just can't shit ever. You think I'm making a dishonest argument when I say that, right? Yes or no?
Any broken taillight check, you should just shoot them if they drive off. Every single.
Yeah, apparently. I don't think he even realizes that's what he's saying though. This guy's just a fucking retard. He's actually like dribbling out of the ears. We can't hear them, by the way. Yeah, they're muted. Yeah. They're on mute because they are talking to their own chats while we wait for this fucking last person to come in. Actually, he's already like, wait, is it already 1:40? What the fuck? 40 minutes. This guy's 40 minutes late. What the fuck? What did you eat today? Fuck all, man. I'm delaying my dinner because of this fucking debate panel. I haven't been that hungry anyway. I haven't been well. I did have a sandwich though earlier, like a little Greek wrap. That was nice. Whoa. We literally just have like 450 people watching us get stiffed by this fucking right-winger. What kind of beer are you drinking? It's not beer, it's just water. This is a water bottle. Look. Grab some hummus and chips. Don't have any chips. I would have hummus with bread anyway. What the fuck? Mr. Savage, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Hey. God damn it. We're watching you yap like usual. What the fuck am I yapping about though, dude? I have nothing. I'm not prepared. I'm prepared for a debate. I'm not prepared for just talking to you guys. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna think over my feet. What the fuck? Let's look at LSF. Okay, let's just... No, not slop. Fuck off. Feel so out of the loop, man. People are talking about Iran and I'm just fucking behind. What the hell? So
to demonstrate. What's your solution? Not starving them would be a good start. Remove the fucking sanctions instantly. What an insane attitude to demonstrate. What's your solution? Not starving them would be a good start.
I don't know what. It's because of fucking Saddam, isn't it? It's because of Saddam Hussein that people think if you put sanctions on a country, there'll be a famine, like they'll starve to death. I had someone in my fucking replies telling me that millions of people died because of their sanctions in Iran. I'm like, wait, what? I don't even know if one did. The fuck?
Remove.
Anyway, we have a panel.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Yeah, man.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yo, what's up, Grid?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Fire up the camera, man. Let's get this show rocking.
Oh, that's right. Yep, let me see. It's right here. Says it's on, but then I don't see myself coming through.
Uh-oh.
Make sure you've got virtual webcam enabled.
Yeah, I have it enabled.
Okay. So weird.
It's picking up his software, but not his actual camera.
Let's see.
Interesting.
Start virtual. Oh, wait.
I know with Soypill, like, doesn't he just kind of like fucking berate these people? Should I just do that? Should I just be a total fucking wanker?
We all love technical issues. Don't worry about it.
Why have I got him so
great
deafened? Oh, there he is.
Great. All right, there we go.
This guy. He's got fucking
KungFuJoe without the Kung Fu jacket?
Yeah. Took it to the cleaners. Actually, Hold on, I got a backup around here somewhere. I might have to go get this real quick. Hold on.
What's the panel about? ICE and immigration.
All right, fuck it. There we go. That's a little better.
That's close enough.
This guy was in a January
Close
6th debate. What, KungFuJoe was? Oh no.
All right. Ready to go. Let's kick this pig.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go over a few topics. Most of it'll be like a lot of it'll be me asking you guys questions and kind of setting you up for parts, but you guys are also free to engage with one another here and there. At first, I'll kind of ask each one of you questions, and then you guys. Oh wait, they can't hear me. Okay.
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
The chat can't hear me.
Oh.
Well, they're just a chat.
Okay, that should have fixed that. And then, but yeah, we'll kind of allow you guys. It'll be pretty free flowing, so you guys are able to just kind of engage here and there. We'll and the plan is to go to 11. We're starting obviously 45 minutes late. So, does anybody have like a hard out at 11? Anybody need to be out? Right then?
What time zone are you in, Tom?
Eastern time.
You're in Eastern. So I have a hard out in about 2 hours.
Okay.
It was just kind of
That's
impromptu, you know? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's about the same time. Okay. All right. We will get started then. I think this is working. Yep. Okay. All right. What's up, fools? We have a new panel show that we're going to be doing here. This is the first one that we're doing. Today is 1/16/2026. It is 8:45 p.m. Today we're going to talk about ICE, immigration, and the Rene Good shooting. We're going to start off by... Okay. Sorry, my screen's messing up. We're going to start off by introducing everybody. We got Lonerbox here on the left with Soypill. Both of them stream, I believe, on YouTube and Twitch. Is that correct?
I've moved away from Twitch, but for the most part, yeah.
Okay. And then we've got, is it KungFuJoe? Where do you stream, KungFuJoe?
I mostly stream on Twitch, but I'm currently suspended right at the moment. I'll be back in a week.
Okay. Glad we got that out right at the beginning. And then we got Grid One Motorsports. For those of you who were here just a couple months ago, he was the one who hosted the debate that I did with Rob Knorr in Tennessee. So that was a lot of fun. Appreciate you being here, Grid One Motorsports. You stream on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I actually stream on all platforms depending on the show that I'm doing.
Okay.
Kung Fu,
All
can
right,
I
cool.
ask why you're banned on Twitch?
Joe.
What's that?
Oh, why are you banned on Twitch?
Not banned. I'm suspended for a week.
For
Naughty words, I guess.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're for the first topic, on January 7th, Minneapolis resident named Rene Good was blocking the road with her car during an ICE raid and during protests when officers moved to detain her, and she was fatally shot as she attempted to flee. The discussion has been insanely partisan, and both sides seem to be really heated over this one. One side believes that this was murder. The other side believes this was fully justified. Grid One Motorsports, what was your thoughts on the confrontation?
I think it was the shooting was good, but there were some definitely some procedural sort of things that could have been handled a little better if I'm to armchair quarterback it. Of course, I wasn't there, so.
So what do you mean procedural issues? What do you think?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think I actually don't have that big a problem with him walking in front of the car because he was trying to get out of the way, and he didn't really have any reason to believe that she was going to skate off like she did. That part I don't really. That part's like the lesser of the evils. The biggest concern I had was that when his partner was confronting her, he was documenting everything, and I felt like he should have been kind of behind his partner, kind of in the position he ended up in, but I don't understand why he felt like he needed to document her license plate and all of that. Maybe that's a federal procedure, the way they do that. But that's really the only thing. I just I kind of didn't really understand why he took the time to walk around the vehicle and all of that.
Lonerbox, did you have an issue with him standing in front of the vehicle the way he did?
Yeah, it was a moving car, whether it's reversing or not. I feel like when a car is on and it's moving, or whether it's reversing or not, I don't know, there's no good reason to stand in front of it. And it seemed like he was quite nonchalantly pacing quite slowly in front of it, even as she started reversing for the 3-point turn. So yeah, I have no idea why you would put yourself in that situation. We can go over some case law like in relation to it as well, but as far as I know, it's easy. Throwing yourself in front of a moving car like that is just like a very, very stupid thing to do. And typically the argument it seems to be the cop is making is that he was in fear for his life and he had to defend himself from the car. Well, if you're standing in front of a car and you think it's going to move towards you, 9mm is going to be a lot less reliable than stepping out of the way. So I don't know, dumb fuck. And obviously, if you watch the video and you see the like little whoa when he supposedly either lightly gets hit or bumps his phone or whatever else, and then he shoots her and says "fucking bitch" afterwards under his breath. It seems like I don't know. It seems like the car bumped him as she was getting away, and he just got angry, and that's why he shot. So yeah, fucking quite mental.
Joe, did you think the shooting was justified?
Depends on what you mean by justified, because obviously we're going to be looking at it through two different lenses. We're going to look at it through a legal lens and a moral lens. I think legally he's probably going to walk. Morally, though,
when you say legally,
it seems
he's
like
probably going to walk, do you mean that you think it's legally justified? Like if he went to court, he's not going to have any issues? Or are you saying you don't think they're even going to investigate it to where he would ever go to court?
No, what I'm just saying is like me not being a very legally minded person. I mean, I could very well be wrong, but just kind of from looking at it alone, I would bet my money that he would probably walk away from this without any kind of charges.
If you went to court.
If he went to court.
Okay. And do you think he's going to go to court? Do you think they're going to actually take him?
Like I said, I'm not very studious on like legal matters, especially I don't know if it's going to fall within like a state jurisdiction or like federal, like all those are details that I wouldn't be able to really tell you.
Do you think he's going to go to court, Soypill?
That's entirely depends on whether or not the state decides to prosecute. I think if this is left to the federal government, they will do absolutely nothing. In their opinion, they can lie and say anything that he did was completely justified. They say, "Oh, he got ran over," which clearly didn't happen. If left to the DHS or anyone else, ICE, to investigate this internally, nothing's going to happen to him. If the state decides to independently prosecute, I think they have maybe a case. I think the ridiculous thing is like, there's maybe a case here where it's like, oh, maybe he was justified, but this is not what the narrative that is coming out from the right is. The narrative from the right is everything was 100% justified. You can clearly see it on video. This video exonerates him. In fact, he should have shot her more times. She had it coming. Fuck around and find out. No one is approaching this on the right from any amount of nuance. It is just completely lies from the administration. That's why Trump and Kristi Noem lied about it. I think if you watch the video, it's pretty clear that this guy was not in danger. If he has internal bleeding, as they've said, which is yet to be verified, I bet it was like a little bump. You can see that he does not get knocked over. He does not get forcefully pushed in any way. It looks like he has his arm on the car and is kind of slid back on the ice. I don't think anything here justified shooting her in the head. And this is all to say, sanity check, a car can absolutely kill you. And I've seen many videos of cops justifiably shooting unarmed people in cars. This did not look like one of them. And I think that people are saying otherwise are just incredibly partisan.
Britt, do you disagree with that?
I mean, yeah, I'd agree with that. I disagree with parts of it. Yeah, for sure. It looks like the officer's in the hospital right now with internal bleeding. So I'm not really, this
he's not in the
really
hospital.
touched him. Kind of rhetoric falls flat, I guess. But so I mean, I guess
Grid, he's not in the hospital. Can we acknowledge that he's not in the hospital right now?
The last report I saw, do you have one that's different? Because the last report I saw said that he was.
The last report was when he went to the hospital. They reported he had internal bleeding. He is not still in the hospital 9 days later.
Sure, I don't actually follow his every move, so sure. Okay.
Well, this would be important information to know for this debate.
I don't. Honestly, it doesn't make a difference to my point.
It makes a huge difference. If he was still in the hospital, he would have had an actual severe injury.
That he had internal bleeding, or
just to be clear,
just to be clear, the overall conversation, it would be important to acknowledge that he's not currently in the hospital, because if he's still in the hospital over a week later, that would be a much more serious injury than it would have been if he just went to the hospital for an hour and left.
Yeah,
right?
Can we just get a reminder as well that this was obviously, it was two anonymous officials who told this to CBS. We agree that like the wording there that's very broad. A bruise is like internal bleeding, right?
Well,
Did you know that, or is that news to you?
I don't know, because I wasn't there and I don't have that information, and neither do you.
Well, first of all, you said that he was still in hospital with internal bleeding, as if to make it sound he wasn't just bumped. Do you think if he had suffered to any serious degree, like we wouldn't be hearing the details of it?
He barely even got hit, if he got hit at all. And now you're going,
we're basing that off of the video that we saw with our
Yeah, it doesn't look like he got
a bruise, whatever.
Yeah,
why does the internal bleeding matter? Why does that part matter?
Why does it matter?
So
why
does it matter?
Because that's the justification used by the administration to say this man was severely hurt. That's what they imply by saying he suffered internal bleeding, as in he was justified for taking this woman's life because this could have been much worse for him. That is the implication by saying he has internal bleeding. I think if that is even true, it's probably a bruise. And if it's a bruise, it's because he had his hand on the car and got pushed a little out of the way, and maybe his phone hit it because he's resting his phone on the car hood. This is not like he got hit and spun out and his ribs are broken. Like the implication here is that he, like Trump and Kristi Noem said, he got run over, which didn't happen. This is a lie.
Do we agree with that?
I just don't know why.
Well, hold on.
Do we all agree that what Trump said was a lie?
We use the term "run over" when cars barely touch people. We still say, yeah, he got run over. He got hit by a car.
We
don't.
No,
wait.
Run over implies
Trump
you got
didn't just
well,
say
maybe you don't, but colloquially, I know people that do. So, I mean, you can say whatever you feel like colloquially, and I can say, yes, we do use this type of language.
Grid, when you're in a parking lot and you back up and you accidentally ding a car, do you say, damn, I just ran over that car? Or do you say, oops, I bumped into that car?
It's a car. You can't go.
I would say I hit the car.
You can't go over a car. You
I
go
would
over
literally
a person.
say I hit the car.
If you bumped,
I wouldn't say I bumped the guy. Yeah, I hit the car.
If you bumped your wife going 1 mile an hour, would you say, damn, I ran over my wife?
If
I knocked her down,
if I knocked her down, I'd say, yeah, I ran over my wife.
You bumped her going 1 mile an hour. She did not get knocked down. Would you say this is running over your wife?
I don't know. It would depend on how far she flew afterwards, right?
She didn't fly at all.
Right. Well, I don't know because
she was still standing afterwards.
I don't know because I've never hit my wife at 1 mile an hour.
Hold on 1 second. So the car touched him at some point. Yes.
Mhm,
Soypill.
yes, it looks like the car touched him. Now, whether or not this is because he leaned over onto the car or because the car, was still making the turn away from him, it's impossible for me to say. I mean, like, this is all just speculation based on what we see in the video. It does not look to me like this man was run over. Two, he was not knocked down, which a lot of people are saying, which is insane to me. Actually, Michael Knowles was claiming he was knocked down on Wednesday. And it's like he couldn't admit that this is just patently not true. But run over is like just false by every use of that word. I don't know how you could possibly
I just
say run
don't.
over.
I don't see why this matters at all. Soy, what do
Well,
you think
it
he was
matters because this is
reacting
what
to?
the
Hold on,
admin
I
that
wanna-
is defending him is claiming.
Wait. I just want to.
But that's not.
Hang on.
That's
I'm
not.
gonna,
You
I'm
don't
gonna
need
give
that.
one. Hang
You
on.
don't need that
Hey,
defense.
I'm going to give one olive branch to the right wingers away from Soypill. Yeah, if someone says hit by a car, that can range from like a slight bump to you just got like rammed at 100 miles an hour and every bone in your body is broken. Okay, I understand that. However, do we agree that saying that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he's alive?
We don't know.
Is that a lie or no?
I'm not going to assign any motivation to her because I don't know what her motivation was. All we know is that her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." Now that sounds like encouragement to flee. Okay, that does not sound like, "Hey, calmly drive away and avoid hitting the officer with the vehicle." That seems
Precisely.
like something that seems like an aggravated response. You can disagree. That's fine. We do know that the vehicle hit him. We know that. That's not in dispute. You can keep saying it brushed him. You can say it teased his hair. Whatever the fuck you want to say. The vehicle hit him. He felt in danger, and in that moment, he was in fact. I don't know how you guys are. I don't know what kind of mental cartwheels you're doing to say otherwise. He is absolutely justified to draw his weapon and end that threat. I'd honestly, it's insane to me that you're saying that you in that position that you would not do that same thing. Assuming you had,
I wouldn't be in that position.
I don't know. You guys
you mentioned like mental. You mentioned mental cartwheels.
Total dodge.
You mentioned mental cartwheels. What was my question? What did I ask you?
Yeah.
What did you ask me?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd already answered what I asked you, and I'd moved on.
So what did I ask you? Can you just remind me? No, wait. Can you just remind me what I asked you? Have you forgotten what I asked you?
Yeah, I have.
So you just rambled for like 30 seconds to a minute, having no fucking idea what I just asked you. You just ignored my question. Am I here right now? Am I a human being? I'm sorry. What the fuck?
I assume that we had answered the question about whether or not the car hit somebody.
Okay, I will ask you again. I'm asking you, if someone had said that what happened here was that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive. If someone said that, you think that would be an accurate characterization of what happened?
Repeat that again.
That's what mental cartwheels look like. If anyone wants to know what mental cartwheels look like, yeah. So if someone had said
there's some language in there I want to parse out.
Wait,
if someone had said
Loner, to be fair, Grid is really slow. I genuinely think he's processing this. You might have to repeat it.
If someone had said that she had willfully, violently, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, would that be an accurate characterization of those clips or not?
I will agree with that. And this is why. And here's why.
Okay.
Because she violently stepped on the accelerator and accelerated towards him. He had excellent reflexes. He didn't draw the weapon until the vehicle almost hit him. And he shot, had about 0.2 second splits between shots, which was awesome. That's amazing. I know you don't understand how good that is, but that's fucking great. And he hit. So all of those things, yeah. He's very fortunate to be alive. I will go to that.
Based on the clips, it's hard to believe he's alive. Yeah, okay.
It is. It's actually hard to believe because he couldn't.
How many near-death experiences have you just like?
It's really funny.
Had he just stood there like you guys are suggesting, he'd have been run over completely.
I'm sorry. When did we say he should just stand there? We said he shouldn't have been in front of the car.
what's
Well,
your
he
guys'
seemed to believe he should
preferred
stand there
response?
because he
What
was
would have been
casually.
the perfect response for you guys?
Well,
I'm dying to hear.
The ICE officers seemed to
Hold on.
believe. The ICE officers seemed to believe that he could just nonchalantly pace in front of the car when it's moving. So he made that decision himself.
He didn't nonchalantly pace.
Yes, he
moved
was.
to help his
Well,
partner
you
who was
literally
attempting to
said he
get the
nonchalantly
No,
woman
he
out
went
of the car.
around the car,
Yeah,
around
this
the
is
front
how
of
you
it.
mischaracterize things
He
all the
stopped
time.
to draw his
He
gun. He could have
literally
kept
was
taking another step,
moving
and he stopped to draw his
around
gun.
the vehicle to reach his partner who was had made the determination to arrest the woman and was attempting to get her out of the vehicle. And that's what he was supposed to be doing. Again, you guys have a very strange way of interpreting the video, which is fine.
A very strange
Look,
way of
look,
saying this guy who
there are
goes,
multiple-
whoa,
there are multiple
almost
factors that
died.
we got to
Okay.
take into account here, guys. Like you guys are looking over a lot of factors that you're not taking into account. Like, have you guys, like, how many of you guys have walked on ice before?
Yeah, I live in Scotland.
obviously.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I live in
Has
Scotland.
Anybody?
Yeah,
Just
today,
put your
yeah.
hands.
Yes,
Who-
we've walked on
Okay,
ice.
great. So
Make
you've
a
all
point.
walked on
Thank
ice,
you,
okay?
bots, for
So
cutting
how
through
fast
these
can
and
you
not
just
letting
like
these
take off
guys
to
down.
one side or the other?
Yeah, not
on
only that,
ice?
yeah,
Wait,
I
you
walked
show-
If you're telling me that
downhill
ice
on
is
ice
more
today.
precarious and slippery, then maybe you
Hold
shouldn't
on,
be
hold
standing
on.
in front of a potentially moving vehicle.
Well,
if
he
you're worried
already
about being able to
waddled in
grab
front of
your,
it.
like, footing. Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been there,
Well,
right?
okay, so wait, he shouldn't have been there, but that's what you're saying. Okay, well, he shouldn't have been there. So what you're telling me is that because he made that decision, he should have died for it, right? He should have not
No,
tried
because I
to
don't think he
take
was
his
in
gun
danger.
out and defend himself.
No, I don't think
Well,
he actually.
how can you-
KungFuJoe?
How do you
hold on,
know that?
KungFuJoe,
How do I know?
they
Because I
didn't
watched
say
the
that he
video.
should have died for it, but that is kind of the implication from the other side, right? Is that if he makes a mistake and goes to the wrong place, that the implication would be that now she has to die for his mistake. Yes.
No, I'm saying, well, in a way, if you're going to be the one weaponizing the vehicle
Well, hold on,
first,
hold on.
then yeah.
He didn't make.
Well, so,
He
okay,
didn't
so then that
weaponize
would
the
be- that
vehicle.
is
He
the
filmed her
question, is
turning the
that-
other
that-
way.
that is
She weaponized the
Question.
vehicle
Hold on,
before
wait,
he
wait, wait. No, hold on,
weaponized,
hold on,
started
hold on.
shooting.
Hold on, Joe. Okay, so yes, you do believe that she weaponized the vehicle as though she was like attempting to hit him. Yes.
From his account, from his
You're
view.
saying he had a reasonable
guy-
belief.
Listen. Let me explain. Okay, listen. Whatever he did, he waddled up in front of the car, right? And now
In front of a
what
moving
he
car, to be
begins
clear.
to react. So it was moving backwards. First of all,
Yes,
you
that's a
didn't know it
moving
was gonna
car. What
be
are you talking
fucking
about?
Car, yeah.
Okay, hold
That's
on,
a
hold
moving
on,
car.
hold on,
Dude,
Joe.
it's totally
Hold on.
fine. It's
Wait,
unsafe.
hold on.
Hold
on, Joe. My question was, you're saying that he had like a reasonable fear that she was trying to hit him with the car. Yes, that's what you're saying.
Yes, and I'm explaining why. Because he already put himself in front of the car while it was going backwards. He doesn't know she's going to accelerate forward with him in front of it. He's standing on ice. He can't just dodge like you can on normal, like dry ground, right? And she hears the girlfriend getting in the passenger seat yelling, "Drive, baby, drive." That's what he's reacting to. He knows he probably can't get out of the way in time. Here comes the car. It grazed him. He can't. When you're this close, you can't see where the wheels are pointing.
He
So I think,
filmed
like,
where the
in
wheel
what-
was
Yeah,
going.
what
much
about when
time-
you're
Filmed her
filming it
turning
and
the
we can
wheel.
have his direct point of view where we see her turning the wheel and we know exactly
And
which
looking
way
right
they're
at him,
pointing.
like
yeah.
You can
aiming
see
the
the
car.
Yes,
Yeah,
in the-
his
in the clip, he's
camera.
looking
That's
right
his-
at her,
That's what
yes.
his camera's aiming at. That's not his eyeballs looking at her. That's
Okay, where
his
do you think-
camera.
where
do you
from
think
his
he's
phone
looking at?
He was looking at.
I
think he was
think
like-
he's looking right at her.
Where?
think
Where's
he's
the
looking
where's
right
the
at her,
wheel?
not
It's in
at
front
the
of her fucking
fucking
face.
Yeah, the wheel is in front of her.
And he doesn't know how
Fuck.
far the wheel is turned
So
one way or the other.
If you're backing up and you see someone and you think they're going to hit you, would you not expect them to turn the wheel to hit
No,
you?
he's already in front of the car this far
Well,
away.
at this point, he's
Much
already
time he-
moving away
I
from
mean,
the car,
this is
right?
a-
Because
this is a
like I think
silly
the first
thing
shot
to-
goes off while he's already to the side. No.
he's so close that when she takes off, she grazes him. How the fuck? That's close enough, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to be the one like in that position.
Well, I know
But
you're
if you
stupid enough
think
to have shot her in
she's
this scenario,
crazy-
but like a reasonable
No,
person might not. Right?
stupid. No,
Dude,
dude, you're just
I don't
like
think that's
you're
possible.
you don't get it. You just don't understand what it's like to be in these type of situations because you
First of all,
probably
do
have
you?
been
They don't
super
walk in
Are
front
you-
of
are you a
cars
law
that are
enforcement
moving.
officer?
I've been in like some death situations before, dude. I know what
How
it's
do you
like.
know?
Okay, I don't
Do
know if
you?
your sheltered ass has. Yeah,
What do you
I
mean
do.
If you're
So
talking
think
about sheltered though, do you
yeah.
acknowledge that? And again, I've had an ex-cop tell me this as well. You acknowledge that in order to draw his gun when he's in front of the car, you have to like you can't. He wasn't doing that while he was pacing. He stopped pacing to draw his gun, right?
No, he didn't.
And
Yes.
No, he did not.
He took one step that could have continued.
Literally,
True.
as the car is coming towards him, he realizes that, hey, this chick's gonna hit me, and draws his gun.
Okay, I'm gonna just play it to my
He did
chat
an
so they can see
exceptional
how
job of that,
delusional
by the
you're
way.
being. But I'm just gonna watch the clip, and you can see he like angles himself and he pauses for 1 second to draw his gun, and then she starts to move forward, and then he jumps out of the way.
I've watched the clip a lot.
A gun is not going to.
You can't tell. You can't tell.
If you want
Hold
to
on, wait,
protect
wait.
yourself from a
Wait,
from a
hold
car
on.
that's about to
Hold on.
turn in front of you,
I
just jump out of the way. Why shoot them?
You're saying that his hips shift, right? You're saying his hips are like facing one direction, and then as the car starts moving, he turns his hips and faces it. Lonerbox?
For like a split second, yeah, for a second.
Okay, so do you disagree with that grid? That
As then he had to slow down his
pushes the
pacing
position of
to draw the
hips
gun.
No,
and face the car?
no. This is manufactured. That he didn't even start shooting until the car is basically hitting him. Like it's like
Until
when you
after,
watch
to be
it,
clear,
and
until
I've
after the
watched it
bump and
just
he's out of
go
the way,
down.
right? Yeah,
I've
yeah.
watched them both angles. I've done all of that, and his draw is really good. Like, I mean, I understand why. We've done a little bit more research on who he is and what he's done and all that. And because normal officers normal officers would have just taken the broken leg or whatever, and maybe
internal
maybe-
bleeding.
Wait, Grid, are you implying that had he not shot, he would have had a broken leg?
Yeah, how did the gun stop that?
I honestly think at the very best outcome, he'd have had a broken leg.
Okay,
Because-
so
but
can you
how
show
did
me,
the
can you
gun
watch
stop
the
the-
video and explain how the first shot, when he's not even in front of the car at this point, would it have prevented his
What do you mean
broken
he's not
leg?
in front of the car? He literally is hit by the car and is
The first shot
falling.
happens when he is
While
not in
did
front of
that-
the car.
Okay. She spun the
I mean,
tire.
I understand you maybe didn't watch the same video. You also thought he was in the hospital still. Like, maybe you don't have your facts straight, but like, he's not in front of the car when he fires the first shot. This is just like, demonstrably true. You can watch this part. That part's not in question.
Well, okay, in front of the car is like when you say in front of the car, like it seems as though he's leaning over the car. Part of his body is in front of the car, but both of his feet.
And the first shot
Or
goes
to the side of the car, yeah.
bumper. Yes, they're to the side of the front bumper, and so I think he's saying like he's leaning in front of the car, but he's
Right. So that
but
shooting
his
or not
feet are on
shooting
the side of the car.
changes not whether or not his legs break.
Yeah, the
What?
bullet stopped. The bullet took off the chunk of the car that would have bumped
All right,
his leg.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't see how
We're
this.
not going to
also
agree
bigger
on
than
this
it.
because these guys
Because
think
you're
the cops
lying.
should have
I'm
just gotten hurt and the woman should have driven off and everything should have been fine. That's what
Well, to be
these
clear,
guys
he
believe.
was hurt,
They're
Grid. He's
perfectly
horribly
willing to
internally bleeding. It's been
sacrifice
8 days in the
officer
hospital.
safety
so.
and welfare in the name of idiots being idiots doing idiot shit. That's what they're fine with it.
So I'm watching the clip right now. He pivots, he starts pacing, then he pivots right in front of the car to take his gun out, and then she moves forward, and then he jumps out of the way. Now, I guess a very simple question is, he supposedly identified the threat when he decides to take his gun out. That's the mental process. But I'm just wondering, you have to be a bit slower to draw your gun, right? You can't jump out of the way and draw your gun at the same time, right? Yes or no?
Absolutely, I can.
Okay. No, absolutely you can. Like diving out of the way of a car. Jumping out of the way of a car, you can draw your gun that quickly.
Yeah. I mean, what? I mean, I can't demonstrate now because, we take down all of our streams. But I'm a competitive shooter. I have a fairly decent draw myself.
Okay. I see why you like this guy. So I've got.
I'm actually.
So,
I'm
again-
originally when I heard about it, I was like, okay, it's just another idiot. But when you hear it, when you listen to the splits and you hear how fast, the time difference between when he realizes that, hey, I'm going to get hit with a car, and when he draws the gun and fires aimed shots, it's impressive, like very impressive. It wouldn't have been impressive if he'd already had his gun drawn, which maybe he should have, because now his partner's trying to arrest this person. He probably should have had his gun out already, but he didn't. He was taking this as, hey, this is just a soccer mom, we're going to detain her, whatever. he wasn't. I don't think he took it seriously until that car accelerated toward him, and he
Okay,
made the
so-
decision to go from we're just going to detain this person to this is now escalated to very dangerous, and he made a very rapid decision.
Yeah, so anyone who's actually being honest with you, even if you just use your brain, would know that, and again, I've had ex-cops tell me this as well, that if you have two situations where you have to move out of the way of something, you are going to have an easier time moving out of the way when you don't have to draw your gun at the same time. I'm looking at the clip right now. This guy slowed down. He came to a stop to draw his gun and then faced her and then jumped out of the way when she started moving. He had two choices. He's like, this car might be a threat. Either I can protect myself with a gun or I move or just keep moving out of the way. He chose to use the gun, which is probably why he's got that traumatic internal bleeding.
You're either going to choose one or the other.
Which do you think is more likely to protect you from a car moving towards you, jumping out of the way or shooting it?
You don't have that kind of time to react and think about it.
I don't have time to react and think about whether or not drawing a gun and shooting is going to save me from the car better than getting out of the way. Are you retarded?
Yes, because
because the car. Guess what?
People back over people. People do weird things. Yes, once you're a threat until the threat is gone.
People back over. So if he had got to the side of the car on this icy, if he had got to the side of the car and not drawn his gun, there's a risk that she might have gone forward and then really quickly reversed back into him, or what?
Look, it's that simple. Yeah, he's on ice. He's on ice.
Jesus Christ!
Absolutely could have.
Like she would have been a fucking donut.
At that point, he would have had an extra 3 to 4 seconds to actually
car.
draw his gun and get in a good position.
Well, actually, if that had happened, his partner would have drawn their gun and shot her. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, isn't it interesting that not a single other officer? Isn't it interesting that there have been cases where multiple cops have fired on a moving car and been done for it and not been given qualified immunity? But in this case, only one guy seemed to think it was even worth drawing his gun. Yeah, fuck.
What do you mean? Also, he didn't think it was worth it. He was the one in danger. He's the one that made the decision.
What, so the other cops didn't see the other guy in danger? Didn't see that he was in danger?
Maybe not in time to react.
Okay. You acknowledge as well.
You think everybody reacts
you dodged this earlier. Yeah, you dodged this earlier. You acknowledge that he fired after the bump happened, right? Not during, after.
It wasn't 5 minutes after. You're talking about what, like 1.01 second after?
He went, whoa, and then fired.
Right,
as in, he's out of the way, and then he's fired.
Second. Okay, 0.01 second.
As in, so he's gotten out of the way.
He already made the decision to fire because he knew he was going to get hit.
Okay. Or he'd already been bumped and thought, oh God, I might die. This car might continue to break my leg as it's gone past me.
Grid, I have seen like a bunch of ex-ICE officers or DHS officers and lots of people on online in articles saying that this is like almost everything that he did was against protocol and what DHS policy is. But I'm sure that
I don't know what DHS policy is in regard to traffic stops because they don't do traffic stops, right? Like this is my biggest complaint with this guy is that
this wouldn't be a traffic stop. The idea would be
treated as a traffic stop though.
No, not really. Their claim is that she was obstructing, right? So it's not really like a traffic
but the
stop.
things the cops are talking about are things that people that do traffic stops know about, like not walking in front. Counterpoints was saying this the other day because he was a cop. He was a beat cop. He was a cop that drove around in a car all day. So they know, hey, don't walk in front of the car. Don't walk behind the car because idiots are idiots and they'll try and run you over. He made that point. I agree with this point, and I told him. Feds aren't traffic cops. They have they have a very focused point of training to some degree, and he may have done vehicle operations at some point. I'm sure he did, but he doesn't do it all the time. So he's not thinking that the soccer mom's going to throw the car in reverse or forward and try and run him over. That's not. He's thinking, hey, I need to back my partner up who's about to open this door and pull this woman out and arrest her. That's what he's thinking.
So,
Grid, do you acknowledge that by taking
the frame of mind? Well, hold on. I can understand the frame of mind that you're giving me, and I can agree with that to an extent. But wouldn't that just further explain that, like, he is just doing the wrong thing? That, like, if like protocol and what it is that they're trained to do doesn't matter.
I think he was sloppy, but that doesn't give her the right to try and run his ass over.
Wait, Grid,
Sure,
you
I don't
literally
know
said that
what-
this was like
real quick, hold
impeccable
on.
draw, his
Soy-
great work,
Soy,
like,
hold
and
on,
now you're
wait,
saying
Yeah, his
he's
gun work was
incompetent?
awesome.
Wait.
He was sloppy with his
I don't
traffic.
think anybody here thinks that she was right in trying to flee, or that she.
Well, apparently they do
ought-
because they're justifying the shit out of it.
When did I say
They-
that? Oh, we
So
didn't. Oh, you
Soypill,
just
do you
made that
think
up.
that she
Okay, I
should
see. I
fight?
understand.
But they get
Okay.
the right to
It's
try
that-
to
it's
flee?
those
You
mental
literally
cartwheels
spent
again.
What do
this
you mean
whole
right?
time
Like,
saying that this
legally, I
cop
don't think
didn't
you're
have to
allowed
shoot her,
to.
and she could, and you were just okay with her driving off.
Do you think if I say
after-
you don't have to
okay,
shoot
after
someone for
having
something,
used
that
a
means the thing is
vehicle as a
okay?
deadly
Is
weapon
shoplifting okay if I
to-
think you shouldn't have to shoot people for it? What the fuck are you talking about? That's not the same
But this
thing.
isn't shoplifting.
You're
This is literally
conflating.
driving a deadly weapon at somebody.
Yes,
Is that
wait,
okay?
Grid, that is what we're
I
trying
think,
to get at.
I think
is
in
that-
worst case
the
scenario, you
difference-
could prosecute this person for like evading arrest at some point. Like, and I would probably say
No,
that's
you would
justified.
you would literally. I would prosecute that if she got in the way. I would have prosecuted her for literally assault with
Attempted
a deadly
murder?
weapon with intent.
You'd say with intent.
Wait, why?
You've seen. Hang on,
Wait,
hang
hold
on.
on,
You've
wait,
seen
wait,
the clip
wait,
of her
hold on,
turning
hold on,
right.
hold on.
Hold on,
Cop
guys,
over.
Hold on. Okay, so I feel like maybe I misunderstood. So, Grid, I thought at the beginning we were asking about like her intent and what it was that you thought she was trying to do, and I thought you were saying that you didn't have like a take on what her intent was. But now you are
Well,
saying that you would charge her with
I'm
intent.
simply
Yes.
responding to. I'm giving them the opposing view because if they're going to say that she should just be, just hand waved away for trying to run over this cop, I'm going to say no. I don't believe that. I think that if
You're
you were-
creating a
you were
dichotomy
in
grid
a-
between
you are-
either
you
you
are
let her go and
absolutely
do
in the
nothing
pro- in
and
the
kill her,
position-
and we're saying
You're
you shouldn't have
absolutely
killed
in the
her.
position of saying that a person. First of all, the minute you accelerate a car towards someone, they don't have to be directly in front of you. They don't have to be like, if you accelerate a vehicle towards someone, especially a law enforcement officer, that vehicle becomes a deadly weapon.
You also don't have to be turning the vehicle in the opposite direction that the person's moving, apparently. Yeah, even though we can literally see the clip
But
of
we
her
don't
turning
know that.
the
You
wheel
keep
to the right.
claiming that, but we
She's
don't
turning-
know that.
No,
We
we
saw
do
that
know
on the-
that.
on
There's
the
a clip of
video.
her from his own
We
phone.
don't know that.
She turned her wheel to the right as he was moving left. This is the fucking MAGA thing. You guys are pretending to not know your left from your right to make this make sense.
It's not. First of all, I'm not MAGA. Second,
Oh yeah.
I don't
Why
know
are
what
people
she was
never
trying
MAGA?
to
It's so
do.
weird.
Yeah, I'm not MAGA.
Okay.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did, but that doesn't make.
Yeah,
it
that's all that
MAGA.
matters, buddy.
Is that all that matters? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you vote for?
If you
did
support
you
him
vote for,
materially, you're MAGA. Like just
Did you
because you're
vote
not.
for Kamala?
Well, Grid, that's
Yeah,
why
I
did vote for
early.
Kamala,
So
yeah.
when you said
Okay.
assault,
Summers.
with a deadly weapon with intent, I'm asking you about like if you're saying that you would charge her with the intent as well.
Yeah, the minute
you
that
would have to
she
believe that
put-
she
the
did
minute
show
she
that
hammered
she
the
was intending
accelerator
to do it.
goes to intent.
Wait, so
could've-
you
she
clearly
could've
at the
stopped.
beginning of
She
this
knew he
said we
was-
can't know
she
what's
could
in her
clearly
mind. Now
see
you're
he was
saying
in front of her.
100% it's intent, provable.
She could clearly see the officer was in front of her and she stepped on the accelerator. And this has been upheld in the Supreme Court, U.S. versus Wallace, that is intent and that is vehicular assault.
Why do you leave out the fact that she was turning the wheel in the opposite direction that he was moving?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. That does not matter. You guys keep pointing to
It
that
doesn't
like
matter
it
if
matters.
you can
The
show that
wheels
there's
can be
intent.
turned
Do you think
not
she was
just as
the person?
easily the other way.
Do you think she was
None
attempting
of
to get
that
like a
matters.
spin ball on him, like in fucking pool?
Well, I'm okay. So
Again,
when
if you accelerate a
vehicle.
vehicle towards someone, regardless which ways your wheels are turned, you're
No
gonna
matter
be
what.
hit with
Okay, so
bigger
what
odds.
if I tap the accelerator? I start going 1 mile an hour and he's 100 feet away. Would you say that this is intent to commit vehicular manslaughter?
If you're 1 mile an hour,
Yeah, 1 mile an hour.
it depends on the range, but probably not.
Okay, so are you saying that there maybe are circumstances that might change the way that a court interprets whether or not she intended to hit him?
That has nothing to do with what you're going to be charged with.
It has everything to do with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be charged with intent.
It's okay, Soypill. It's okay.
Are you aware of the difference between intent and non-intent? Like the difference between like manslaughter and murder? Like intent matters. Like this is a very significant thing.
Yes,
in
but
charging someone.
when you are charged, they suss that out. If you accelerate towards a person
Right.
and you intend to do it, you're going to
Okay,
charge
so
them.
again,
Well,
we
even
just
if they don't.
agreed that if
Let's
she had
just-
gone
all
a mile an
fine,
hour at a guy
fine.
10
You know
feet
what? I'll
away,
go-
this would
I'll
not be
go with you,
intent,
Soypill.
correct?
I'll go with you. But it's still going to be vehicular assault.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so at
dropped
least
that
we're
one
at the
quite
part
quickly,
where we
didn't you?
can't
The dead- I mean,
100%
to me,
defend
almost
that
as if you knew it
that
was
she
still
did have
fucking
intent,
bullshit.
because of course we can't. But yeah, theoretically, this could be some sort of involuntary thing. But I'm glad we moved on from the intent.
Involuntary?
Yeah, as in she didn't try
so-
to kill this person?
No,
That's what I'm trying to understand.
did she
as well,
step on
Greg.
the
If we're
accelerator
talking about
pedal or not?
intent, if
Did
we're
she
talking about
ease
intent,
away, or
we're
did
saying that.
she hammer it
Well,
enough
hold
that
on,
the
wait.
tires
But
spun?
it does, like, with intent, it's not just saying that, like, you're doing something, and something could possibly happen as a consequence, accidentally, but because that would be like, negligent or something like that. But you're talking about with intent, so you're saying, like, her
Yeah,
goal
she
was
hammered
to
the
hit him.
accelerator. She didn't ease out at 1
Just
mile
to
an
be
hour.
clear,
She
I'm
spun the
asking.
tires. If the tires hadn't spun, the cop would have probably been dead
Hold on,
because
wait,
she'd have
I'm
hit him
asking a
that much
different
faster.
question because this is the part that I think they're getting confused on, is that where you're saying with intent, the idea is that she is hoping to hit him. She intends to hit him. The goal of pressing on the accelerator is to hit him. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, because I don't know if she even knew he was in front of her. So
Okay.
I said, hey, we take the intent off. It's still vehicular assault.
Oh, yeah, she's
It's
looking at
still
him in
deadly
the.
weapon.
She's looking in his
She
direction.
is literally
in
looking at him.
in the
But that
video,
doesn't.
so.
Again, the argument can be made that she didn't even see him. She was just trying to flee.
Okay, wait. If
you guys
that
should make that
can be
argument.
made, Grid, then
Yeah,
it
the argument can
clearly
be
isn't 100%. It is intent. Do you understand that? That, like, this is already, you're introducing doubt into the scenario.
Well,
I
he
can
did
make a
just
lot of arguments.
granting that.
Right.
he
This
was
is how
like,
analysis of potential crime works, especially in court. And so, like, the fact that you're coming out and saying this is clearly 100% with intent, and had he
No,
not
I said
shot,
that
she would have been charged.
I said she would be charged that way. I believe that she would. You said something like, basically, oh, she's just hand wave, no big deal. She just drove away. I'm saying no. She would get charged if she had done what she did and she'd hit him like she did. It wouldn't be hand waved away.
Soypill, you agree that she did hit him, yes?
It depends
That
what
he
you
was
hit. I agree that a car made contact with him, but it is unclear to me whether this is she swiped him or he is, like, pushing off the car because he's laying his hand on it, and that's why you can see his feet move back. That could be because she, like, bumped into him and he moved back. That also could be because he has his hand on the car, and as it's accelerating, it pushes them off.
He has one hand with his phone on it and the other hand with a gun. Which
Right.
hand
So
did he use?
in classical Newtonian physics, when you are connected with something and it moves, you will also move. Now, whether this is because it hit you or because you're already connected.
But you just said that he put his hand on it, but yet both hands were full.
Yes.
And I don't see the camera hit
He's
the
asking
hood.
which hand did he put on there?
You don't see the camera hit the hood? Have you seen the video?
I see the camera. I see him bounce off the hood.
Do you see how I'm pushing against my mic right now, but I have a phone in my hand?
I don't see him like here. I'm putting my camera down. Here, I got my phone right here. I didn't see him do this. I saw him, like, bounce off of the hood. Maybe you're just...
you can't see the camera in the footage that is recorded with his camera, right?
Yes, I see it. I don't see him lay it down there. I see him bounce off of the hood. Right? Is that what you see?
No.
Okay. What do you see? I'm fascinated.
Do you want to watch the video again?
No, I seriously want you to describe what you saw.
So when you say bounce off the hood, do you mean like the car hits him and he goes, whoa? Or do you mean like potentially when he puts his hand down?
You said he put his hand on the hood, like he rested it on the hood like push himself off or something. That's what you said. Now I want you to back that shit up, because what I see is I see him get hit by a fucking car and him bounce off of the hood.
I'm not saying that she calmly rested his hand down, and then as the car was accelerating, like a baby, he was gently pushed away. Okay, I'm saying that when he puts his hand down,
this is literally
right,
the dumbest
as he's
thing I've
moving
ever
out of his way, as he's trying to move out of the way, the momentum of that car is transferred. Now, whether or not you want to call that hitting or if he is pushing off the car, either one, I don't know for sure. You can't tell from the video. That is what I'm saying.
I don't know why.
That's amazing. Okay, all right, whatever.
But you seem to be of the.
Can you acknowledge like that it is possible that both of those things happened?
I saw the phone bounce off of the car. It didn't rest there. He didn't push off of it. He bounced off. He goes oof, I believe, when that happens. It wasn't like he didn't rest his hand on the hood.
Stand up, just to be clear.
Push off
Old
like
people do this all the time.
That
so this is not proof that he got hit. Okay.
It was more like a whoa, like the Elon Musk noise. But it seems like your position is that it doesn't really matter what her intent was. She could have, like, it seems like you, if you know your left from your right, she was obviously steering in the direction away from where he was moving. But in any case, it seems like to you that doesn't really matter, because what matters is obviously whether or not he's in danger, right? It doesn't matter what her intent is from his perspective, correct? Because if that's the case, I'm just wondering, like, wouldn't the January 6th cops have been justified in firing on like quite a lot of people on that day then? If you've got people coming towards them with like flags and poles and shields and shit, and some of these cops are like literally on their own with a mob of like 100 people coming towards them. That guy doesn't know that they're not just going to like jump 5 feet forward and kill them, right? Why doesn't he just shoot them on those grounds?
Well, I mean, the same could be said for any protest.
Well, that's why I'm asking. You seem to think this shooting is fine conduct because, you know, she might have killed him or broken his leg.
Literally accelerated a car. It's a little ballsier than carrying around a stick.
After you've broken into a building that you're not supposed to be in with weapons, and after you've already fought with cops with deadly weapons. Bats are deadly weapons.
The video I've seen is, or let's use your guys' term, mostly peaceful. There, I mean, I don't want to sit here and relitigate Jan 6.
Yeah, I'm not going to obviously tell you that people who stood outside and didn't hit anyone.
I've got a couple guys who were there that could speak to it, but
do you deny that there were people there with weapons?
So I don't know.
Do you deny that there were people? What do you mean you don't know because you weren't there? This is one of the most filmed singular protest events in world history.
None of us
you acknowledge they had
Rene
weapons, right? They had weapons that can kill you, and they use those weapons.
Tom, are we
on
allowed
cops.
to have the video up on stream or no?
I'm trying. If you can send me one that you think is fine, every single one.
This
that
one
I'm
at 1
pulling
minute
up
and 57 seconds. I'm sending it to you right now.
Also,
this is not highly edited.
There's a lot more
this
cops
is like
who
the
got injured
original
on that
video.
event,
There's a
right?
lot of sync stuff, but like this one, I like. If you can look at this and tell me it is impossible that, by the way, I'm not claiming this is 100% definitively what happened. I'm saying it is very possible that this guy did not get hit and he had his hand on the car when it was accelerating, therefore sliding him backwards. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened. It's very possibly that it was a swipe and not like he got pushed away from it. I'm saying it is unclear to me based on all the videos I've seen, but is definitely clear to me that this is not something that I would fear for my life in this scenario for. But I also do, apparently this guy, it happened to him before and he might have had PTSD, which means he should not have fucking been there in any scenario that would ever involve a car. But yeah, can you show that, Tom? 157 is where I was at.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up real quick. Oh, here it is. Okay. I did want to make sure. So Lonerbox and Soypill, you guys don't think she should have fled? This was a contention that they had just a little bit earlier.
It's like we're judging someone who in the heat of the moment has a bunch of people approaching her car and her getting mixed signals from 2 different ICE officers and her wife. Yeah, I think it's illegal for her to flee maybe here. I don't know exactly how the jurisdiction works, but I would not blame them, and I don't think it deserves capital punishment. Like at worst, it deserves like, hey, you resisted arrest, and then she should be punished.
But like we're saying, like let's say she isn't shot, you see a video where she just drives off and nobody shoots her, you wouldn't be like protesting her getting charged.
I might be, depending on what they're trying to charge her with, but I wouldn't say it's like completely unjustifiable if they tried to slap her with some like minor thing here. Yeah.
Let's just say like evading arrest.
Yes, I think that there's a very real case for that to be justifiable.
And Lonerbox?
Yeah. Like, just because I don't think people should get shot for shoplifting, that doesn't mean that it's okay to shoplift. Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay. All right. So here's the video. I've got it up. This is where he starts walking around.
You can see the deathly intent in her eyes right here.
Day morning in Minneapolis. The footage begins with Agent Ross approaching Good, who is sitting in her SUV. You can hear Good say to him, "She's not mad."
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay, we don't change our plates every morning.
Good's wife, standing outside the car, is also filming.
Also, to be clear, he's already circled the car once, so he doesn't need to go around a second
Walks
time
around
here.
the front of the SUV, while another agent can be heard telling Good to get out of the car. Good's wife tries to open the door as Good reverses and begins to drive away. The camera goes down as Ross, who is still standing, yells out, then fires 3 shots. Seconds later, a voice is heard cursing Good, who crashes her car down the road.
Okay, so there is another angle where it shows like him actually being hit from over in this direction. But this isn't.
Yeah, you could bring that one up too, but I don't see how
Yeah, I
you
was
could
looking for that one.
see him circle the car once, so he doesn't need any additional footage at this point, but circles again because he's incompetent and decides to step in front of this car. 2, very clearly, as this car backs up, is already to the left, or from her perspective, to the left of the car, and she is turning the wheel continuously. So if she even closely wanted to intend to hit this person, would have stopped turning the wheel at that point. This is very clear from his video. But on top of this, then. Determined from that you need to shoot her 3 times, and this is eliminating the threat. When right afterwards, we then see the car barrel down the as now a big weighted projectile and hit some other car. It could have hurt someone. Like, none of this, in my mind, justifies shooting her 3 times. This is insane to me.
Interesting.
Would you like to address any of those 3 points, or?
No, I already have. I don't feel like I need to tread the same.
We actually haven't mentioned that he circled the car twice. Do you think there was a reason for him to walk around it 2 times? I did mention
that. I even said that the only reason he came back around was to help his partner. I covered all of this.
Why didn't he just go around the back?
Because why would he? Also, if he had, she reversed up, she probably would have hit him then.
Why do you think she reversed?
I have no idea why she reversed.
Seriously?
No. He wasn't standing.
You think she just like was in reverse and she's like, oh, I don't know what to do, and she reversed for no reason, or maybe
in that video, where is he exactly when she reverses?
In front of the car.
So she just threw it in reverse, and what he thinks that she's just gonna like mosey on.
Well, or turn to the right to drive to the right, as he saw her doing in the video.
He didn't see her do that, obviously, because he would not have gotten hit by the car.
He didn't see the thing that we just watched him record on the video.
Obviously. Okay, then explain to me how he got hit by a car.
Well, to be clear, I haven't even conceded that he got hit. I said it's possible, and if he did, it was very mild.
I literally watched him get hit in the video.
No, we actually didn't watch that. Okay.
We didn't watch him get hit. We watched him go. Whoa.
All right, I have the other angle here. Yeah. This is the one that shows from the side. This is him here.
I mean, so if I put the worst lens on it, he honestly didn't need to back up to get around him. She could have just turned her wheels really hard and eased forward, been no problem.
So she even gave more room to make sure she didn't hit him.
If you want me to give my honest observations of why she backed up, was to get more distance so she could run him over harder.
Oh, okay, wait, hold
I thought you
see that. Your claim.
If you guys are going to be bad faith, I'm going to be twice as bad.
First of all,
if you can read intent, if you can tell me why she backed up with no knowledge of why she backed up, I can go there too.
How much did this car? How much did this vehicle accelerate?
I'm claiming if you watch the video and you think anything other than, so if you think you watch the video and think, oh, she's revving up to hit him, like I just don't know what video.
Why did she spin the tires? Why didn't she just ease away?
Because she's scared of the ICE agent grabbing at her driver's side door, and her wife is screaming at her to drive.
Well, hold on. Okay. All right.
Well, so okay.
What?
So I think
what?
The problem is, hold on, wait.
You're telling me.
Wait. Hold on. Stop. So I think the problem is that, like, obviously, there's 2 different theories here that each one of you are working from. The difference is that you're gonna try to like take these theories and then see which one like the evidence backs up more. It like
well, no, wait, Tom, let me be clear. I'm not saying the evidence backs up my theory more. I'm saying there is no fucking evidence, and you are delusional if you think she wanted to kill this guy. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, correct. That's what I'm getting at. So nobody knows like what her intent was. Nobody has like claimed they know exactly what's in her mind, but they're trying to say that like I think each side is trying to say that they have a theory based on the evidence that is available, because they can see what's happening with all of the evidence put together, this is the conclusion that they're going to come to. So we don't have to like try to mind read here or anything. We're just looking at the evidence. This is what's done in court all the time. We look at evidence to look at it, to come to a conclusion about whether or not somebody had intent with murder or other things. We were talking about intent with, you were talking about the intent with assault earlier. And so we can like look at the evidence and come to conclusions based on the evidence. And I think that's what Soypill is trying to get at, is he's saying that the evidence makes him come to this conclusion.
Yeah, he wants his intent to be reality, and I'm saying that I don't believe any of what he's talking. I the only thing I can prescribe to any of those, right? Like, we can say that she was scared. We can say that, she all of a sudden realized the weight of her mistake in harassing these federal officers doing their job. We could say all of that. Now, you wouldn't be wrong by saying it. But you guys are prescribing. I originally prescribed no intent. I just said this is what it is. This is how it works. You guys keep trying to push to prescribe intent, which I don't really care one way or the other, honestly. It could just be that she had athlete's foot and her foot itched, and that's why she stomped on the gas. I don't fucking know, and I don't care. All that really matters is the vehicle launched towards that officer in a very sprightly manner, and he defended himself. And that's honestly all I care about. You guys are trying
Grid, I need to ask you a question. Grid,
Yeah.
can you see my screen?
I can't see your screen.
You can?
Mhm.
Okay, you see this thing labeled car?
Oh, wait, hang on. I got to...
What's the other rectangle?
This is anything. Let's say this is
Yeah,
car.
put it-
This is also a
yeah,
car. Fuck
gotcha.
it.
Oh, what, two cars?
Car. All right. So you see this one right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a car. Let's say you wanted to go here. What's the first thing you would do if you're in this car?
If I was in that car,
Uh-huh.
well, obviously I would back up.
Oh, why?
But hold on.
Wait,
Do I
wait.
need to
Are you
back up
sure?
in a hurry, or am I scared? What's my motivation for backing up?
My motivation is to get the fuck away from the guy trying to pull me out of the car.
Oh. So I'm evading arrest.
Hey, we have already conceded that is very possible something that she could be charged with, okay? Like, we're not at that level. We're acknowledging that she was not backing up to
Okay.
try to get
So
more distance
that,
for a
I mean,
bigger
just
ram, right?
pretty much anything you do while you evade arrest is you're liable for. You understand that? Like it doesn't matter what her intent was if you're
It
attempting to.
absolutely matters what her intent was here, right? That's what's going to determine if she was still alive, whether they charge her with intent to assault with a weapon or involuntary manslaughter if he had broken his leg because he didn't shoot her or whatever insane scenario you're imagining. Like, the intent
all right,
absolutely matters.
Let's just take this down. Did they tell her to get out of the vehicle?
Yeah, they also told her to get out of here. Right?
Hold on. Did the officer reach to open the vehicle to drag her out after she refused to get out of the vehicle?
Yes, but again, they're giving her conflicting commands.
Just answer the questions. It's easy.
Do you acknowledge they gave her conflicting commands that we saw in the video, or no?
I only heard the command to get out of the vehicle. So
Okay.
all right.
Loner, sanity check. I swear to God, did the ICE people not say move, as in move out of the car because you're blocking, and that's why she's saying to
I
go
believe
around?
their exact words were, "Get out of the fucking car!" Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were two
get out of
commands,
the
no?
fucking car. That's what I heard.
Not just any car. The fucking car!
No, Loner,
Right.
what I'm asking is, did they not also tell her to move?
They told her to move
Yeah, they
earlier.
told her to move, yeah. Because they thought she was
earlier.
Just
blocking.
to be clear.
But when he had his hands on the door, he said, "Get out of the fucking car."
Yes, he said that. That's correct.
Yes. And she chose not to do that. So hold on. If a normal human that is told to get out of the fucking car by a cop who's literally got their hand on the car door to open it,
Mm-hmm.
decides to drive away, what do we call that?
Fleeing arrest?
Fleeing arrest. Is fleeing
Mhm.
arrest a felony in most areas?
I don't know. It's not a capital offense, though.
It's not a capital offense. We're not, but he didn't carry out a capital offense. He did that in self-defense. capital offense is a totally different thing. I like
The
your
point is,
wordplay.
I'm saying we're acknowledging, and we have several times, so I don't know why we're reiterating this, that she very well could be liable for something wrong here.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that she should
you
have been shot,
understand
which
that
is the
felony, during felony flight,
substance of
if you
this debate.
endanger an officer's life, they have the ability to defend themselves.
I'm aware of that. I don't think his life was in
Okay,
danger, though.
then, and that's exactly what happened, and I don't understand why you're arguing.
Whose screen am I looking
Yeah,
at?
Soypill, can you see
oh,
this?
Oh, okay. Dude, you can't just mog me with your much better card.
No,
drawing.
look, it's just
you
that like
also
you've got
spelled it better.
you haven't considered the other argument about why she was reversing, right? So you got car here and you've got ice pig bastard here. But you've forgotten the sling factor, right? Which is when you're going to have to turn sideways and then also reverse to get some more momentum to fucking blast them at higher acceleration. Yeah, these Honda Civics
she's
are
doing
just
one of those like James
they're
Bond.
really they're not to
actually
100 is
lines
really
up on
fucking
it.
powerful, like from a few feet backwards. Yeah, changes.
But there's also a
everything.
rotate. I think there's a rotate feature you're missing here, where like she's turning to the right, so she can kind of like check him with the back of the car, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
why,
do
because if
this
you
little
hit,
swing
yeah,
maneuver.
they can pull if you hit the ball at an angle, it kind of spins around. So maybe she wanted to like fucking
Right. She wanted to
catapult
disorient him a little bit, so
yeah.
that like she could get away.
throw him
and
into a
which way she
spiral.
went.
All right, wait,
So
wait, so
again,
the guys on the left, I want to.
Hold on,
Get his
hold on.
body out
Hey,
of the
we
road
got a
so he
mic
doesn't
back.
bother anyone.
Yeah, we got
Sorry, I had
back. Okay.
issues.
So 1 second. So Soypill, there's a possibility that she was reversing to hit him. Yes, like what is the evidence that you say like discredits that makes
Oh,
you think
where
there's no
she's
way
turning the
he
wheel
was-
away from him, clearly in the video that he released. Yeah. Like I don't know why else she would if she was trying to hit him, why she would turn the wheel in the opposite direction of the only person that's even remotely close to being in front of the car, right? Like why else would she do this? Is it so she could? Is it because she only wanted to hit him just a little bit, or is it because she's trying to get away?
So Grid, do you think there's like if we were trying to read intent here, we're trying to figure out what it is she's attempting to do, because that is the claim from the Trump administration, is that she was trying to hit him and that she was a terrorist, right? That like, would she try to hit him with the corner of the car, or do you think she would try to like hit him with the middle of the car? What do you think the evidence is?
Look,
here?
I don't know. I mean, I understand where some people are saying that, because it looks like when she backs up, she literally backs up to line up directly with him. And
this guy's not going to say anything valuable, okay? But I don't fucking drive, okay? I don't know cars. Apparently, there's a Honda Pilot, not a Civic. Okay, whatever. Fuck you.
I need to know two things. She accelerated towards him, regardless of which way the wheels were turned. She did in fact hit him, and
Why do you keep saying that? In fact, like we clearly watched that this is not determinable from either of those three videos or any of the three videos.
I don't understand.
I don't even know if it's a pilot. Someone just said that. Maybe that's wrong.
Because this is not clearly determinable. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying this is not what we see on the video.
Fine, whatever. I don't need to stick on that point. He felt like he was going to get hit. Let's just say that he felt like his life was in danger.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking you in law enforcement in general.
You disagree?
That's why I'm.
disagree?
That's why I want to know. No, I don't know.
say
If
it's
he felt like,
reasonable
I don't know if he
to
felt
that,
like his life was in danger.
He's not a fucking robot. He's not like, oh, let's put the law enforcement program into him. He's a fucking human being, dude, who got dragged by a car like 6 months earlier and like spent some time in the hospital for that. So yeah, the guy, it was kind of like a mix of perfect chaos. You got a guy who had previously been dragged by a car. Now he's standing on ice in front of this car with these people who already shown that they don't want to fucking cooperate, right? And now you got the wife jumping in there saying, drive, baby, drive, like they're Thelma and fucking Louise. And you're going to think that they're not going to accelerate at me, and he's right in front of them. He's got a split second to make a fight or flight decision. And nobody's going to make the morally perfect decision every time in those types of like split second decisions. I'm sorry. It's fucking
that's why I want to ask you.
Do you think his previous interaction with this car where he was dragged, do you think that should have weight as to whether or not he performed the correct decision? Or do you think that this should be irrelevant?
I don't know if
he was
heard
dragged
me when I
because
started
his arm
talking.
was stuck in the car.
Wait, that's not what I asked. I asked, do you think that we should view it with a different lens, knowing that he has experience with this happening to him, as in that might justify him taking an otherwise unjustifiable action?
Unjustified by what conditions?
No. I'm not asking you to concede that it's unjustified. I'm asking you that if it was unjustified, do you think that his past experience helps to justify this current action?
What I was making a point toward, no, I mean, I don't think that's No, I don't think that's gonna come when you come down to like the legal brass tacks about things. I don't think that previous action, or maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe his lawyer
So
will
why
say, "Hey,
did you bring it up, Joe?
actually, I take that back. I think it actually might be relevant if he goes to trial. The fact that he got dragged by another car, it might be perfectly relevant to bring up in his defense. Actually,
Makes me wonder why
So,
he decided to
I'm
nonchalantly
sorry.
pace in front
I'm
of
sorry.
the fucking big
Yeah,
trauma.
I
No,
was
I'm
gonna
sorry,
say,
dude.
like-
you guys,
Wait,
you guys are
hold on,
missing
hold on.
context, and now this kills it for
No,
you.
that's
I'm
great. That's
sorry.
great. That's
Joe,
great.
no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Hold on,
Okay.
wait,
So it
wait,
seems
wait,
to
wait,
be
hold
that.
on,
Hold on. I mean,
hold on,
it's
hold on.
not the
Stop,
same.
stop. Grid, stop. Hold on. So the argument was brought up earlier, Joe. You missed it. So the argument was brought up earlier that if he had like past trauma, then normally like somebody who has problems like after they get shot at or after they get attacked, lots of times if they have issues, they go through like psych evals to make sure that they're capable of doing the job without having some sort of bias or some sort of
Spurred
problem
out shooting moment.
doing the
Yeah.
job. So if this was something that you think played into his decision, normally when they go to court, they would be arguing as to whether or not whether or not a reasonable person would have done this. If he has trauma, that would make it to where it's like unreasonable now, right? So do you think that is actually like beneficial towards his case, or do you think that
I don't
this
think
would
I don't think
harm his
all
case?
experience. No, I don't think all experiences equal trauma. I think it's an on-the-job experience that he got. He could have just gotten through this, not had any trauma, and still just said, "Hey, since I have experience going through something like this, um, this is looking actually pretty scary in this moment right here where I'm getting accelerated at, and Thelma and fucking Louise over here are yelling, 'Drive, baby, drive.'"
Wait, Joe, have you seen the
Your
video
argument
of
is
like that
about
cop?
trauma,
Wait,
though,
wait,
isn't
Tom.
it?
Can I ask?
Your argument is about trauma, though, isn't it? If you're saying that he's more likely to pull the trigger, like, isn't that
I'm
about
saying if
trauma?
he has an experience with a disobedient driver, right, he's levying commands at, and they drive off anyway, I think that's going to come into play.
Well, yeah, but Joe, okay,
Okay, go ahead,
have you seen the video of the cop and he's walking next to a car and an acorn falls on the top of a car? He thinks it's a gunshot and he begins
I
just like
remember.
shooting down the sidewalk. You've seen
Yeah,
that,
I've
right?
seen that.
Yeah.
Do you think
I've
that was
seen that.
justified, or do you think he was being incompetent?
Do I think he was justified in getting scared by an acorn? I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing. It's like I said earlier. They don't put like law enforcement software in the back of this guy's fucking neck, and they become law enforcement robot, and they just
Okay.
do everything perfectly.
Just yes or
right?
no.
They're
Do you
human
think
fucking
he
beings.
performed his job well, or do you think he shouldn't be a police officer?
No, I don't. I think he had a very human moment, right?
What is this
Okay,
fucking
I
soy shit?
I was
man?
going to use this as
it's
a
supposed
scenario
to
to say this shouldn't justify, but you are defending Acorn dipshit cop as like, oh man, sometimes we all
What's
get
there
scared
to
by an acorn
defend?
and
What's there
unload
to
a mag
defend?
into a public street. Like that's
Whatever
this is,
happened
like
to that guy?
ridiculous.
It's supposed to be an objectively
No, I'm
reasonable
not
standard.
defending.
It's not
I'm not
supposed to be your
defending
personal
him. I'm
experience
just
just
saying,
weighing
like,
your decision.
curious
what,
now.
what do you want me to defend there, bro? It's a guy who had a fucking spoof on himself. He got scared. Like, maybe he shouldn't be a cop anymore. I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't be a fucking
I'd love to
cop.
know what happened to that guy. But I mean, they're incompetence in anything. But this officer doesn't seem to be incompetent. He's been he was quite a history of actual competence. So,
Yeah, I don't know what the fucking acorn has to do with this shit. Is an acorn
it would be an easier
sound the
narrative if
same
he
as a
did.
fucking? Yeah, hey, acorn versus car, accelerating.
I think the question
at
about
you.
the acorn is to talk about like reasonability, that like we can all understand that somebody might be scared when an acorn drops, but do we think it's reasonable to then pull a trigger is the question. And so we can all say that like, yes, this guy, we all might think it makes sense if we were dragged by a car at some point that we
It's
might
the whole-
be more likely to pull a trigger, but does that mean that this is justified?
It's the whole legal question. It's
Okay,
about
Tom,
whether or not it was an
Tom,
objectively reasonable standard. So it's would an objectively reasonable
Yeah,
person
great.
have
So
believed this? Not did
if he
someone
got put
have
back
an
on duty-
idiosyncratic personal response? Yeah.
If the guy got put back on duty, is that his fault?
Well, hold on. That's
Well, that's irrelevant. We're talking about whether or not he's
Yeah. So
incompetent
let me-
and
I just wanna
acted
know what the
responsibly.
point
is.
If his superiors are also incompetent, yeah, okay, we can talk about that. The point is that Acorn guy, clearly, this is not a reasonable action of a police officer. I don't know why you're defending it, but it
I
also
didn't
wouldn't
defend
be
it.
more.
I said he shouldn't. He
Yeah,
probably
Yes,
shouldn't.
you
be
said,
a
"Hey,
police
man, we all have
officer."
human
this
moments.
instance.
You know, it happens."
I'm
You were
saying-
defending
I
it.
don't
I
even
said
remember
it
enough
was
about
only
Acorn. I would like to
reaction.
know what happened to Acorn guy though. That would be I should look that up.
It doesn't
'cause
matter
it'd
what
be-
happened after. What I was
be
asking, the
very
point was to
interesting to see
He
if
illustrate.
should be a
Is
if you hear an Acorn hit the top of a car and you begin to unload your magazine at no
Ian.
one in a public street, do you not think this is unreasonable?
Well,
Yeah, that
I
is
obviously think it's
unreasonable.
unreasonable, but
Okay,
I'd
it
like
is
to find
unreasonable.
out if he
Okay,
kept his
would it be
job.
more
That'd be
reasonable if he had
hilarious to know.
gotten hold on? Would
But-
it be more reasonable if he had gotten shot at like a month before?
Potentially, sure.
I don't
Okay,
know.
the answer is no. Like, yeah, you can understand why he might be scared, but that does not make him in the right just because he has PTSD from a completely separate incident. And now this completely unjustifiable shooting is not now justified because he heard an Acorn drop because he has PTSD. In the same way that this guy, who might have been in the right in the scenario where he got dragged by a car, does not mean that he is allowed to now shoot people because he has PTSD. What that means is he's incompetent. He needs a psych
Okay,
eval, and he
hold
shouldn't
on.
be a
Soy
police
Bill,
officer.
wait,
or
wait, wait,
ISIS.
I want to walk you through something.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. So Soypill, if we found out that Rene had actually been attacked by officers in the past, that they had come and grabbed her car, pulled her out, like beat her up, totally unjustified, they all like got in trouble and went to jail, and she had some trauma from this, and then we find out that this is why
This does,
she ran.
yeah, this does not
and why
justify her
she
actions to flee. No,
You-
it doesn't.
Okay, all right, go ahead,
Yeah,
Chris.
you're past. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. So let me. So
not.
let's. Well, I'm. Acorn guy is just a sidetrack. I was just interested in whether or not he had ever if he got fired or whatever. That'd be hilarious to find out.
They probably
But-
investigated themselves and found that he is completely viable as a cop.
We do, but we are a sum of learned experiences, right? Like, that's how we deal with things, right?
Are you
So-
aware of like the legal precedent of like reasonable action? Like this is a thing
Yeah,
that
yeah, I'm
like,
aware. Hold
lawyers
on,
have to
you-
decide.
dude?
Okay,
You want to answer for me, or? I mean, I can.
I promise. As much as I try, I don't think I could dumb it down as much as you are.
I'm trying to dumb it
Okay,
down as
go
far
ahead,
as I
Chris.
can for you, but it's just not getting there. So
Hmm.
so you understand that we have learned reaction, right? So and this guy was dragged because he trusted the guy that was going to get out of the car. He reached in the car. The guy drove off, and literally that's why this officer he didn't do anything particularly stupid. He just made a slight judgment error in trusting someone for a split second, and the guy drove off and did in fact drag him.
I don't know what happened in
like
this
400
first
yards or
scenario.
some stupid thing like that.
Yeah,
And
I don't know
but
what
I don't
happened in
know.
this
I don't
scenario,
know
whether or
that
not he was acting
that would
properly.
incur something resembling PTSD. That might be that, hey, I'm never going to put my fucking arm in a window again. You
Okay,
know,
but I'll
like
stand
I'm
in
not
front
doing
of the
that
car.
shit. And I'm not going to
Twice.
be, so it's we are a sum of our learned experiences. And I think that trying to label things PTSD or say, well, he may not have even been qualified to have been back on the street is kind of, I mean, that first of all, it's lowbrow, and
I'm saying he's
you're
not
better than
qualified
that.
to be
and I
back
don't
on
know
the
why you're going
street
there.
if we're using his past experience as justification for him unloading 3 bullets into a person that is on the side of him at this point.
But
That is
nobody's
what I'm
done
saying.
that. I haven't done that.
Hold on. Doesn't
I'm
the
not-
first bullet go through the front of the windshield?
It does.
Where's his body?
Yeah.
Oh, it's at
what's
the side.
this
Okay, yeah.
claim of-
His
Well, we
arm is-
did. We went over the.
Are
So
you
he's
video
right.
saying
just a
he-
little bit
Okay,
ago.
hold on.
side?
So physics here. So right-handed, you can't be on the side of the car and go through the windshield. I mean,
You can't
you
do
know,
that.
hold on,
it's traveling
Cross
straight
your
down
right
the
hand
line.
over his.
Hold on,
Go
hold
He's
on,
not,
use your
hold
right
on,
hand.
he's not curbing bullets and
Hold on.
shit.
Okay, do you
Hold
want
on,
to do some
hold on,
fucking
hold on,
yoga
hold
with me?
So,
Cross your
wait,
right hand
wait,
over your
wait,
left
wait.
body and
Hold on,
stretch.
hold on.
Oh, yoga?
Yeah, like,
Hold on.
what?
I
Hold
like
on,
that.
hold
That
on.
was good. I like that yoga.
Stop. Okay, so we did go over the video just a little bit ago. We did all kind of agree that his feet were on the side of the car when the first shot went off. So it does seem.
Did
as
they
though
acknowledge
he's
that? I don't even
leaning
know if they
into
did.
the car. Well, I thought Grid did. I thought that we can.
He's still, I mean, he's
Joe
still
wasn't here. So
not-
yeah, well,
he's
so
not
that is the
firmly in
point. Is
front of the
that he
car.
would be leaning on the car front, like his feet are on the side, but he is leaning on the hood as he takes the first shot.
because you hit
And
him.
so that
Like
yeah,
I'm clear of
we
that
can
speaker
pull
over
it up
there, but I
again
can bring my
for-
right
for
hand over
Joe.
and touch it. Like fuck me.
We'll just we can pull it up again for Joe if that's a contention for you, Joe. We can
Yeah,
play
maybe
it
he
again.
hasn't seen the
No,
video.
it's
That's
fine.
fair.
I've seen it before.
Okay.
Like he got grazed by the car either way, and like if he's on the side of him, I still don't see like how the first bullet goes directly through the front.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, we do have.
Wait,
let's
wait,
not do
Tom.
that.
Wait, no, we
wait,
have to address this because this is insane. Please, please.
Hold on. We'll go right back to it. I promise. We got a couple of super chats. We got an hour left in the show, guys. If you want to send some super chats or questions for anybody, you can send them through a link in my chat. We only have 2 right now. It's $20 from Aaron M Sound. He said can't figure out if Grid 1 is bad faith or just hasn't seen the complete video. Bootlicker or confused? Hard to say. Grid, do you want to respond to that?
I've seen a bunch of videos, and I've given my opinion on the ones that from my perspective. I'm not a bootlicker. I think the cop made some mistakes. I mean, he really did. He should have. There was no need for him to, once he had the license plate number, he should have backed his partner up. I've said that. I don't understand kind of why he was met. Maybe and you know what, it could be that he was trying to keep an eye on the other woman, and you know, because you have two people and you don't know who has what. She could have had a concealed weapon, and he's just kind of trying to, make sure that she's not doing something weird. I don't know. Cops have a hard job. There's a reason I'm not a cop. So, I don't know. I think the guy did a pretty good job. Other than, I don't think that, I think once a decision had been made to arrest him, well, there are two nitpicks that I have. Once his decision had been made to arrest the driver, the first officer at the door should have said, turn the vehicle off. And he didn't do that. We know the vehicle was in parked when they approached, so she had to have put it in reverse. And at that point, the officer at the door should have drawn his weapon and said, stop, put the vehicle in park.
Wait, before he was even in danger
Hold on,
for his
I'm
life,
not
he should have
finished
pulled
yet.
the gun and pointed it at her?
If you are going to flee my arrest, then yes, because there's people in front of you. If you are fleeing, you're endangering everyone. Okay.
Yeah,
To be
that's
fair,
true.
she was
Aren't
already
there-
reversing
aren't there
before
other-
he
Hold on,
moved
I'm
in front
trying
of
to
the car.
finish.
But, yeah.
Guys, you guys can't.
Okay, try
you
to
can't control
wrap it up.
yourselves. I
quickly.
understand.
Sorry, that
I've
was
been talking
me.
for 5
Just
minutes, and
hold
I
on.
just
Yeah,
asked a question.
try to land quickly, Grid.
Yeah, so I haven't been talking for 5 minutes, but the second, the officer that did get hit, he should have, once his partner had made the decision to detain them, he should have had the wife in handcuffs already. Like I understand that this played out in a very weird way. And again, these guys are, they're federal agents. They're not traffic cops. They're not detectives. They're not anything. They have a very specialized job to do. I'm going to cut them a little slack for that. But as far as police officers, they didn't do it. I mean, this comes down to a traffic stop that was just not handled very well.
Okay. All right. We're going to read the second one. I'm going to let you, Lonerbox, respond to this one, and then we'll go back to you to Soypill to continue what it was before.
My
But this one
Crazy
is from
geometry
Brick.
question, yeah.
This is from Brick Petitions 101 for 199. He said, "Officer created jeopardy isn't an excuse for safety." Do you agree with that, Lonerbox?
As far as I know, that's like a fairly new thing that they've been exploring. I say new. It's been around since about 2011. I know that in Minnesota, they would consider that because they've considered that in previous case law as well, where cops put themselves into
Can you
situations that they
explain
shouldn't.
what that is?
So when people are
There-
determining, so in general, it's the overall circumstances that determine whether or not an officer had a reasonable belief to fear for their life or to use deadly force. Usually that'll be the severity of the crime or what's happening in the moment or the intent, the perceived intent of the drivers. That's why people who very slowly try to escape like a traffic block after they've just ended a high-speed chase and they start slowly moving the car again. Cops have fired into the car even when no one's in danger immediately because it's not worth allowing a high-speed chase to continue. It's too dangerous. Officer created jeopardy is this idea that it would also consider things that the police officers do themselves in violation of protocol to put themselves into a dangerous situation. And an example here of officer created jeopardy would be the car is moving before he walks in front of it, which would obviously, and obviously the way that they're talking to her and everything else might contribute to the situation. So I don't know about how it works legally, but it makes sense. But I think absent that, it's still not justified.
Just quickly, I do see this in the chat a bunch of people keep saying like they weren't legally allowed to conduct traffic stops. From my understanding, this wasn't a traffic stop. That she was blocking the road. She was there for over 4 minutes. She was following around the ICE officers for a long period before that. And even the claim from ICE, from DHS, and from the Trump administration has been that she was obstructing. And so they do have a right to detain people over obstruction. Soypill or Lonerbox, do either one of you disagree that she was blocking the road or that she may have been obstructing?
I think she was probably there to like be annoying, maybe even disrupt
Be a
them. But
nuisance
it
to
was
them.
also clear that one, they could have gone around her because the other car did, and two, she's waving them around. So at worst, she was like,
Sure, but the question
"I'm
is
making
the
your life
question
a
is
little
about
harder."
that.
Not
The
she's.
question is about whether or not this is a traffic stop. Like we don't think
Oh
this is
no,
a
it's not a
stop. We
traffic
all
stop.
agree
But
they were
the
there
reason we keep
because she
bringing
was
up traffic
obstructing us.
stop is because it's the same kind of scenario of person in a car that might be idling, and you're walking up to this car, and there's a reason why cops go up and they approach them
no.
behind and the sides, right? That's the only
The
reason we're saying
argument
that.
is
But
that
no, it's not.
no. The argument from like that keeps being brought up in chat, as I said, is I'm addressing something that keeps being brought up in chats where they keep saying that they don't have the right to detain her because
Oh.
they don't have a right to enforce traffic stops. And so I'm saying we all agree
Oh,
this was
okay,
not a
okay.
traffic stop. They were stopping her because
yeah.
she was
Well,
obstructing. Yes.
I mean, the courts have been fairly clear that while they cannot affect the actual arrest, they can detain someone doing these things until the police actually show up to arrest them. Then and that's been pretty clear for a few decades now. So
Okay, so Soypill, you wanted to go back to your question earlier. Did I wait too
yeah.
long?
So our friends were confused by geometry, so I'm going to share my screen because this is I don't understand what this is so difficult.
Okay, you guys are killing me.
Let me
with
know
the
when you
screen.
can see, and just in
All right.
case, this is also a car.
Wait. Stop what you're doing, Soy. Stop 1 second.
What?
I just
Oh,
need
did
to
I
ask.
not put the pig
I
nose
just
on him?
put that away.
Yeah.
Bury it.
Oh, do you have a better
I just
one?
need
Okay.
no. Just bring it back in a second. I just need to ask
Okay.
KungFuJoe because you said earlier, what part of the windscreen was hit? Where's the bullet hole? Is it in like which quadrant? Is it in like the middle, the left third, the right third? How would you describe where it is?
Probably. Well, I didn't look at the very exact spot, but it looks like it's like toward the bottom corner.
It's like an inch away from the bottom corner, right? An inch in.
Okay.
Barely. Okay, just checking.
Mhm.
All right, you can continue.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Okay. I can show my beautiful drawing. Okay. So, no,
Just
I can't.
please
see it 'cause
go
it's down
for the
there.
last
All right.
screen there. It's killing
Right,
me.
I'm sorry, but just to be clear,
My blindness.
do you
Soypill was
understand?
there. He knows,
Do you see?
right?
Do you see?
That's
No,
why
I just
he's
watched the
so
video because I have
accurate,
eyes.
right?
Do you see how?
Oh,
Do you see how this
yeah.
guy is to the
Your
side, and do
perspective
you
is
see
so
how he can
great.
still shoot into the front of the car? Is this like
Oh,
impossible?
you had a
or do you think
bird's
this is
eye
not
view.
possible?
You had
I
a
didn't
bird's
say
Hold on,
this
eye
is
Joe.
what
view.
happened.
Joe, wait.
I'm
Joe,
asking. I'm
Joe,
asking you
hold
to
on,
acknowledge
wait.
that this
Joe,
is possible.
we don't have to. Joe, we all agree. Yes, we're all here to have a conversation about something that none of us were there for. So we all only have the same perspectives from videos. Yes, Joe.
Insane speculation.
No. This
It's
is
not speculation. There's a
that-
fucking video of it.
bird's
What
eye
bullet
view,
hole
are
is
you
there?
fucking
Hold on.
kidding me?
We're going based on like evidence in the videos, right? So we're going to like reference the videos.
Wait, but
if you
but
disagree
Tom,
with
Tom,
what
Tom,
he's
Tom, wait,
showing,
hold on.
There's
hold
no
on, hold on,
bird's
wait,
eye
hold on,
view
hold on,
video.
hold
I'm
on,
not-
hold
I'm
on.
just-
Stop. Hold on, Joe. We're all referencing the videos. If you disagree with what he's referencing and say that it happened differently, you're free to do that. But we're all coming from the same perspective of looking at the video. Yes.
Just saying that angle is nowhere in any of the footage, right?
Wait,
It's
just to be
like
clear,
a totally
hey,
disingenuous
I'm not
angle
asking
to
you
say
to
that
say
that's where
exactly
he
what
was.
happened.
You were literally earlier saying,
wait, Lonerbox.
no,
Yeah.
one thing. You were literally earlier interpreting Drive Baby Drive as a Thelma and Louise tone. Like, yeah, you can still watch a video and infer things or talk about like geometry. What the fuck? Anyway,
What?
Okay, and now
Dude,
really
he's
quickly,
telling her
the
to
reason I'm
speed the
drawing this,
fuck
Joe,
away.
is not to say this is exactly what happened. The reason I'm drawing this is you said, how could the bullet go into the front if he was standing to the side? Do you acknowledge that it is possible for his feet to not be in front of the car and a bullet to go through the windshield here?
No, I'm saying that's fine, and then it hits her also. I mean, I
Yes.
guess.
Is this possible?
I don't know. Like,
I'm not saying it definitely happened. I'm just asking you to acknowledge that you can
Sure.
shoot through a windshield.
This is
and
why
while
I
you're to the
I
side.
offered to pull up the video again earlier to show that his feet were on the side, leaning over the front of the car,
Yeah,
so that we can see that.
That's. I mean,
was
it
generally
obviously hit him because
No,
he
it's
went
fine.
from front to side.
That's fine.
also apparently she said that
My-
Drive Baby's got a gun, not Drive Baby Drive. So you editorialized that as well. Whoops. Why do you do
To
that?
be fair, I heard it
telling
that way
telling
too.
her to drive at all is fucking stupid. I would say, like, if I look at this event, it's like a collapsing of dominoes to me. There's one domino, the first domino has to fall before the other ones do. So I think the most morally like culpable person is probably the wife saying drive, right? That sets the whole chaos in
Who
motion.
has the most onus in any police interaction? Is it the random civilian or the police officer? Like, who should have
That's
more
not-
responsibility?
That job is up to the courts. What I'm talking about
No,
here
no,
is
no,
just
not in this
general-
scenario. In general, Do you expect the person who has the training and the ability to kill legally to have more responsibility, or the civilian?
No, that he has a responsibility. That's why if she's about to take
more than the
off,
civilian, yes or no?
more than the civilian. So if she's about to
Okay.
take off and flee the scene and become a public danger now, I think it's well within their right to stop her before she turns that car into a weapon against civilians.
Okay, wait.
That's
So even
is
if she
that
didn't,
not a possibility?
even if they didn't fear for their life, if they thought she was going to be a danger just because she's driving away, they should have shot her.
Sometimes that is the case.
Wait, not
Sometimes
sometimes,
in
in
this
this
case.
case.
That's actually been held up. Your partner.
I am
just
aware
said
that
that
this is a thing that can happen in other cases. I'm asking you in this
Wait.
case
What
whether
the
that's justified
fuck
it.
did you just do, Grid? When did I say it's been held up like that? What situations?
You literally said a few moments ago that when a car has been stopped after a high-speed chase and it moves forward even incrementally, shots have been fired into that.
What did I say? And what's the one thing I said that would make this completely different from those examples?
I'm not really sure what makes it completely different. Please,
what is this fucking
please,
selective memory you have?
No.
That was in the context of someone who had reached a
police. Please reiterate it.
That was in the context of someone who had reached a police barricade, stopped after a high-speed chase where they'd been going at 100 miles an hour for like 5 minutes, and then they were about to start again. And then at that rate, you're like, okay, this person stop talking on. This person's probably going to be going 100 miles an hour again, and they will obviously endanger people.
Police orders. Who is
hold on,
obviously
Grid,
agitated.
You think the significant variable there? You think the significant variable there?
Spun out on the ice. Hold on. Honestly, you don't think that that's public endangerment if that officer allows that vehicle to drive away?
The entire fucking police system in every reasonable country in the world disagrees with you.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
I'm just answering it right now.
It's a very specific question. I'd love for you to answer it. Is it public endangerment for the officer to allow that vehicle to drive away knowing what he knows?
Is it like any public endangerment? Kind of. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Do you think that it's protocol to fire on everyone who drives away from the cops then?
No, I didn't say that. I said given this very specific situation, given that she's obviously very, very agitated, she has thrown her car into reverse. She is spun out on the ice. And he hears, drive, baby, drive.
Yeah.
She's evading arrest because she will not get out of the vehical and taking a vehicle from park into drive.
You're just describing what I said, driving away from cops.
The sum of those things. Now, now, let's just say that this happened to me. Let's say that I was the officer and I said, you know what? I'm not going to stop this person. I'm not going to attempt to stop this person. I'm going to let them drive away. And 2 blocks down the road, this ridiculously overly aggressive woman runs over a bunch of school kids. Am I the officer at fault for that, for allowing that to happen?
Do
I share responsibility for allowing that to happen?
Because it depends on
Lonerbox, let me ask you, do you think she would have only gone like a block down the street?
I can only handle one fucking dribbler at a time, please.
I'm just curious.
I can only do one fucking childminder job at a time. Jesus Christ. Okay, so first of all, it depends on what you know and the moment. So if you pull someone over for like a traffic stop or for like a toll violation or something, and then they're like, fuck you, I'm not really interested in this, and they drive off, and you've got generally a cop, and you do not disagree with this unless you're a fucking idiot, a cop would be advised to let them go, take their their license plate, and find them and arrest them later, or send them in a different way, because a high-speed chase is public endangerment. Whereas if someone just drives away from the cops and the cops make it clear they're not going to follow them, then they won't
avoiding
go
the
high
question
speed.
I asked you. I asked you a very specific question. Let me repeat it. Given this woman's state, had he just somehow gotten out of the way, or maybe he just
obviously saying he would not be culpable. He would not be culpable if she drove off and then just decided to go on a fucking joyride.
Just ran over a bunch of school kids.
Yes, he would not be. Yes, he would not be culpable because what he knew in the time. Yes, because what?
Hold on, great.
What do you mean interesting? Are you fucking serious? Wait, fuck you. Stop. Hey, Tobbs. Wait. No. I need one.
He's asking. No. I need to clarify this real quick because Grid. He's stating like what the standard is. You initially asked about the standard. He stated what he believes the standard to be, and he's saying that there would have to be evidence evidence that she is driving recklessly and that she might hit somebody before they can make that determination. Do you disagree with his statement that they would need that forethought in order to make that determination?
They would need to have a good reason to believe that she might do something like that based on what they know.
well,
in the
How
box.
about disobeying orders, bro?
Okay, wait.
Hold on.
I love you.
Hold on. I
KungFuJoe.
need Grid to answer the question, please. Hold on. I need Grid to answer the question in order for this to move forward. Grid, do you disagree with the fact that they would need that evidence before they can make that determination?
I think they had enough evidence. That's my point. She was
Well, the
agitated.
answer is-
She drove
She
off.
wasn't
She was
agitated. She
fleeing the
was saying,
scene
"I'm not
of a
mad."
very. So hold on. She was fleeing the scene of a what originally was a very minor issue. She escalated this. Her and her wife escalated this at every possible occasion. There was no. As the officers are trying to say, "Hey,
the officers fucked up by not telling her to turn the car off," and now you're saying the guy.
I do
who
agree. I
shot her in the head
both
is not
things
the
can be
most
true at the same
escalatory
time.
action?
Both things can be true at the same time. Just because the officers fucked up
Yes,
doesn't mean the other people didn't fuck up.
But that's
You're
but what you're
implying that they
saying.
are the
What
most-
you're,
that's
what
what
you're
you're
saying.
saying.
No,
hang on.
you guys are dodging and evading. You know that if that had happened, if it was me in that car and I drove off and I plowed over a bunch of school kids because I was crying and I couldn't see and all of that, you would want that officer hung because he didn't do his job.
You're just
Okay, hold on,
wrong.
Grid.
Wait, stop. Hang on. Wait.
Hold on.
I
I
need to
didn't.
ask, I need
Hold
to
on.
ask.
I
Hold
didn't.
on.
And she
answer my
escalated at
question.
every opportunity.
Hold on.
She had
Grid,
every
Grid,
opportunity to
Grid,
de-escalate.
Hold on. I'm asking you. So you do you agree with the standard he set up? Yes, that they would have to have evidence. Yes, you're saying yes, and then you're saying that they have that evidence at the time. Yes.
Yes.
And the evidence
car
is
was
that
in
they
park.
were
Okay.
escalating- Hold on. Wait. Hold on. You're saying that the evidence is that they were escalating, and
He was
that
escalating.
they. Okay, and so you believe that is evidence of like some sort of like recklessness from them to where
Absolutely.
the cops would believe. Okay, so Lonerbox, why do you
Wait.
disagree with that?
Well, because
Wait,
that
I
sounds
have-
like if they had enough evidence to believe that she would be a public danger. The question is whether or not they're enough
That's
of
why
a
they were
public
arresting
danger. Yeah, the question is whether or not they're enough of a public danger to use deadly force on them, which is why sometimes a joyrider will stop and then start again slowly, even if no one's in their way, and it's still okay to shoot them because they've shown that they're willing to drive at 100 miles an hour. But you guys both sound like you're saying that this person in particular, had given them enough information to make that risk enough for them. So that's why I'm asking.
She showed up.
Yes,
I really
that's
wanna
why
ask
I'm
this
asking you,
quickly. Loner,
KungFuJoe. That's why I want to
you've
ask
seen
you
all
this
the
very
videos.
simple question. Then that sounds like then every time someone mouths off at a cop and then drives away when they're not supposed to, the cop would be liable to shoot them. No.
No, this is a totally different scenario. These are
What
ICE
did she?
officers.
She mouthed off at
and
him
these are
and then she
people-
drove off.
Hold on, dude. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to reply to your fucking question, dumb fuck. Okay, so like these are ICE officers, and these are people who are directly in opposition to them, and they're making it known that they're there to protest and fuck with their whole thing. They've already made it known they're there to disobey. Okay, I think we have, and a lot of these people have already been dangerous towards the cops. There's no reason not to think that these people could be dangerous.
Okay, so
can I ask you a
hang on.
question?
Wait, fucking one question then. So
Lonerbox,
even if the
if I
cop
may.
wasn't in the way of the car, you think they'd still be justified to shoot her then if she drove off?
Okay.
No? Yes or no?
What? If the
Let's say that.
if there
So
was
you
no
think
cop in front of the car.
she gave them enough
Possibly.
information to convince
Possibly.
them reasonably that she was a
Possibly.
threat? Possibly. You're a fucking retard. Like
Possibly.
Well,
so
I don't hold know. on,
by,
hold on,
by
hold
your,
on.
by your
fucking know.
logic,
You don't
then,
know how
just
much-
so you understand, by your
How
logic,
long
then,
is the video?
By your
How
logic,
long is the video?
by your logic,
Gentlemen.
then you'd be okay
Gentlemen.
if dozens of people were shot and killed on January 6th, right?
Gentlemen,
Dozens of protesters.
It's not the same.
yeah, it's
if I-
worse.
if I
There
may-
was a lot
Hold
more
on,
injuries than
Would
January
Ashley
6th.
Babbitt
There
deserve to
were.
get shot?
Hold on.
Yes.
Would Ashley Babbitt deserve to get shot?
Joe,
Yes.
Joe. Hold on, Joe. Let Grid respond.
You don't think she did? Wait, why not? She wasn't. She
Hold on.
Lonerbox,
she didn't
if I
fulfill
may.
your criteria.
I would like to actually, because I think you guys
The
are
double
coming at this
standards
from
are so
two
fucking
different points of
insane, man.
view,
What the
and
fuck?
I want to try and kind of get this get the hypothetical back kind of on track.
Just to
here.
be clear, there's a lot more internal bleeding on January 6th than there was from this guy, right? There were cops with broken ribs and shit like that. Yeah, fuck.
The right side of Good's chest,
So,
one on her left
when we
forearm, and
when
one
we
with
look at
protruding
in
tissue
the
on left
hypothetical I
side of
gave
the
you, I didn't say that the
patient's
cop
head.
would have to. Matter of fact, I gave you the hypothetical that he didn't do anything; he just let her go. she mows down some kids, you would want that cop. You'd be like, hey, why didn't he stop her? He had the opportunity.
No,
to
I would
stop
not
her.
be. That's
Well,
a really
wait,
stupid
wait.
thing to do. There
Okay,
was no reason
okay, maybe
to
you
go for a
personally
high-speed
wouldn't, but
chase
I
for that
believe
severity
that-
of crime.
Can I, Grid, can I ask my clarifying question? I really need to know.
Yeah,
Can you see my
go
screen?
ahead. I'll finish in a
You
second.
can
Go
see
ahead.
my screen, right, Grid?
I can if I do this.
All right, you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously,
Okay,
please. For the
so
last
I didn't see
stop
all the
with the
videos,
screen
but
shares.
like, was there like a group of school children here? I didn't see that angle. Is that a thing that I didn't see?
It's a hypothetical. Do you understand how hypotheticals work?
I'm aware of how a hypothetical works, but just to be clear,
starting to think
if
you
there
do.
Not a
was,
hypothetical.
if there
Wait, it
was
not
a group of
hypothetical.
school,
We were talking
it
about
was a
justification as to
hypothetical.
I was
whether or
giving a
not-
hypothetical.
He was
No,
giving
no,
a
no, you
hypothetical,
were-
and
wait,
to be
the
clear,
hy-
Tom,
No, he
Tom,
wasn't giving a
he gave a
hypothetical. Hold
hypothetical.
on.
Yes, he literally
Didn't-
was, Tom. He
didn't-
literally gave a
he
hypothetical.
said
He said
that she was driving recklessly and that they had to see this forethought that
And
she
hit a
might
group of
do
kids.
this, which the thing was that she might hit a group of kids. That's not a
Yes,
hypothetical.
this is called-
That is like what it is that the officers are shooting her
Well, I-
to. That's not a hypothetical. That's
Yeah.
literally justification for the
Well,
shoot.
I mean, well, no. In this case, she hit him. So, but I'm saying that even let's just take away that he never shot at her, nothing like that. I'm just curious with to the depths of how much cope we're going to get in here. So, if you are so if an officer allows someone to flee and they do something, public outcry against that officer is going to be pretty high.
Yeah, it depends on what reasonable justification they would assume. Do you think they had any reason to believe that she was going to mow down a group of kids?
She was escalating the
If you say
situation.
anything but no, you are delusionally retarded. Like, how could you possibly think that's what they
She was
expected her to do?
she escalated a situation she didn't need to escalate. She made a conscious decision to pull the car out of park, put it into reverse, back up, drive away at a high rate of speed, which she didn't get to do because she almost hit a cop and he ended that. But had she would have fled at a high rate of speed, which I don't know. Maybe that's okay by you. You good with that? You good from people
two
running
things.
from cops?
One,
Is that
just to be
something you like?
clear, obviously, no, they had no reason to believe she was going to mow down a bunch of kids. But two, if there was a group of kids, like there was in my paint drawing, she would have hit them because after they shot her, she had no control of the car, and her car barreled into that car down the street.
Right.
So
We're
no.
taking away the fact. We're saying that you
Dude,
guys
what the
did.
fuck?
You guys are right, and they didn't shoot, and they just held their fire, and she drove off. Would the cops
This is
have
so
been
bad
right
faith,
in doing?
dude.
You keep saying that you guys keep saying, well, you don't think it justifies X. You don't think this. You don't think that. And yet, when we give you a hypothetical, you won't engage with a hypothetical because you know that had something happened, had she hit a bus full of puppies or a carload full of cheerleaders or what the fuck ever, you guys would have been literally
engaged with your
screaming for
hypothetical,
that
Grid.
cop's balls
Grid,
on a platter.
No, we
Yeah, you
engaged
would.
with her hypothetical. If she had left this scene and then 2 blocks down had hit a car full of puppies, I don't think the cop would be liable because they had no reason to believe she was going to go plow through a car full of puppies trying to evade them. That's insane, and that's why it doesn't justify shooting her.
You don't fucking know that, dude. You don't know how far she would have gone. You don't know how much fucking
Oh my
damage she would
God.
have done.
Women,
Have
women
you
are
ever seen a high
unpredictable. They
fucking
can't
high
drive.
speed-
They're crying. They can't see. They don't know what they're doing.
Well,
They
Joe,
could've
he
killed
didn't
them
Doesn't
say
matter
that
who
they
it
wouldn't
was.
hit
It
the
That's
doesn't
why we
matter.
talk about
Well,
what's
hold on, Joe,
reasonable.
hold on.
Right,
You
I mean,
fucking
look,
idiot.
if that
Larry.
honestly,
Wait.
if that's your position,
Hold on, Great.
Fine.
Hold on.
Fine.
Joe, they didn't say that that she would not have hit puppies. They didn't say that she wasn't going to do it. They said that the guy wouldn't be held responsible if she had. Maybe she would have, but there's I don't know of any case law or any scenarios where cops are ever held responsible for something like that if they don't have because normally even cops are told not to
Yes, we have a
Tom,
we have a case. We have a case for this.
Actually,
We have a case for this in the UK.
Hold on. But Joe, I want to ask you, do you think it's more likely that she's going to hit people if she's alive or dead?
I mean, if you look at the street where she was, it depends. Like, how far is she going to get? She's on a street that's not too active, and if you
To be
stop
clear,
her there,
Joe, for you to say
you
alive,
stop
she
her-
would
hold
have
on,
to
dude, shut the fuck
intentionally
up.
hit them.
Yes, right, correct. She would she could get away, drive at a high rate of speed, lose, control of her car because they're on the fucking ice, right? and that could result in God knows what. If she barely managed to skid away after she's getting shot, then her chances of causing great damage are going to be much lower than if they let her get away at an even higher velocity of speed. You don't know that she would have perfect control.
Why do you keep saying this? You don't know if every person you pull off for a fucking traffic stop is actually Ted Bundy, right? Like you don't treat them that way though.
All I know, any broken taillight check, you should just shoot them if they drive off. Every single time.
Apparently. I don't think he even realizes that's what he's saying, though. This guy's just a fucking retard. He's actually like dribbling out of the ears.
You're just...
I can see bits of brain like leaking out. You don't know what she would have done. Yeah, no shit, dumb fuck. We don't know what she would have done. But at the end of the day, you have to talk about what's objective, what's reasonable. Is it reasonable to believe that with traffic stops, I'm sure it's happened. There have probably been people who have mouthed off at cops, been a dickhead, driven away, and the cop hasn't pursued them. And then as a result, that person went off and killed 2 people. This did happen in the UK, actually. But what you do is you have to consider what does the cop know at the time. So sometimes, most of the time, you're generally not encouraged to do a high-speed chase because unless the stakes are quite high, chasing someone in a car is a bad idea. It's 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles.
To see that they're fucking radicals, dude. It's perfectly fucking
reasonable.
Oh,
they're radicals. Okay. So you are MAGA then, right? You'd be happy to say that.
No, I'm not MAGA.
The people at Jan 6 were radicals, weren't they? They were talking about hanging Mike Pence. Why didn't cops open fire on 100 people there? Why not?
They did. They shot him with rubber bullets. In the face.
Would you have had an issue if they used live fire then, given your standards for this case?
They used live fire on that.
They did.
Wait, there was more. Wait, one person. I'm asking you if there were more people because there was more. There was more bodily harm. There was more bodily harm on January 6th, right? There was more severe bodily harm against cops on January 6th. You agree?
I'm sorry.
There was more severe bodily harm and risk of people dying on January 6th than there was in this case.
Well, one person did die.
There were more cops in danger, so would you have been okay if they fired at more protesters? Because more protesters had weapons. There were lots of protesters there who were saying radical shit and had weapons. You'd have been okay if the cops fired on dozens of people and killed them by their standards.
Did fire on people with rubber bullets.
No. Can you engage? I understand why you can't engage with that question because you realize how much it completely fucks every argument you've made here.
With it,
if they used live fire
with
what if they used? And I'm asking you a hypothetical. What if they used
because they had time? You know why they were? You know why they engaged with non-lethals?
What if they used live fire?
Do you know why they? Do you know why they engaged with non-lethals? You don't. You don't know why, do you? Because they had the time to. Because they weren't. They literally were not about to get run over with a vehicle. This guy didn't. This guy could have probably.
Cops who were literally on the ground. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Also, to be clear, you're not justifying it from the vehicle point right now. You're saying, well, we don't know what would have happened after. So even if he was to the side, it's justified. And Lonerbox is asking you, by this standard, knowing all these people were threatening police officers, and we have video footage of them beating them, that those officers would be justified in gunning them down with live ammunition. Would that be the same case for you?
There's that black riot officer who's literally like 5 feet away from protesters walking towards him, and he's on his own and he's luring them. But again, he doesn't know that they're not just going to lunge forward and kill him. So why wouldn't he be in his rights to open fire on them?
Greg, can you answer? Greg, can you answer Soy's question?
It's Lonerbox's question, to be fair, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you were reiterating.
There were like several questions in a row there.
No, the one question, which is you've refused to engage with, is on January 6th, if these cops know that there's violent intent, they've already seen them commit violence.
I've already answered that.
No, you haven't.
They did engage with non-lethals, and I even told you why they engaged with non-lethals.
I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to say it real slow so you can hear me, okay, Tom? No, I'm going to try it. All right, Tom, watch this.
Sorry, hold on. Great. Saying what they did is an answer to the question. He's asking about whether or not they ought to have, whether or not they should have. So he's asking for an ought. Like, should they have done this? Saying they did doesn't matter. It's whether or not they ought to have used lethal rounds.
You're asking me for the ought claim?
Yes.
Okay. If an officer is in fear for his life, yeah, he ought to have shot them.
Okay, so you are admitting that the police officers on January 6th should have live gunned down as many riders as they had fear of.
Again, if the officer legitimately had a fear for his life, they ought to have shot them.
Wow.
There was more legitimate fear for life for the cops on January 6th than there was in this instance.
That's consistent. You guys can't say that's not consistent.
Okay, so then,
but it's also retarded because I wouldn't even say this, and I think all those
just to
do
the basic limits. Ashley Babbitt absolutely.
I believe that anybody that's in fear of their life ought shoot the person that has them in fear of their life.
Yeah, it sounds like you
Okay.
think that more January 6 people like Ashley Babbitt should have been gunned down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Soypill,
toll
do
of
you think
Hungry
Ashley
would have
Babbitt
been
should have been
fine.
gunned down? Do you
I
think
think
her
Ashley
shooting
Babbitt was a very important exception of, hey, not only is she trying to get into this place, she's being told to retreat. She's climbing over a glass barrier and a bunch of stacked chairs to a bunch of congressmen who are trying to evacuate and getting verbal orders to back down and not listening? Yeah, she should have been shot for that, absolutely. But I think that there are more justifiable cases where they could have been shot outside and they weren't, and like, thank God they're alive, right? Like that these
Okay,
officers
so
were able to know their
So,
lives
hold
weren't
on.
necessarily
An
in danger.
Wait,
unarmed.
no, so Grid, hold on, Grid. Do you agree that Ashley Babbitt was justifiably shot?
What I know, it was a good shoot. I mean, she was coming at them. The
Okay.
fact that there was no weapon bothers me a lot. That the officer was in such fear of his life that with no weapon present, that bothers me a lot. But from what for the
What if
rest
she
of
went
it
in there and
is,
killed a bunch of puppies?
huh?
What if there
I'm
was
just-
a room in the Capitol building
just-
with a bunch of school children and
just-
puppies?
Well, to be
and they
fair,
thought, well, maybe if
it's
she
a-
gets through, she might
You're,
go
you're
kill them.
memeing, but that actually was the argument, right? Was because that was the last line between the people and
Yeah,
the
that was the, and
legislators.
that's why
she was wanting
that's
to
why
lead
I'm
the charge of 100 people behind
that's
her.
why
yeah.
I can say that I'm okay with that. That as far as I'm aware, it's a good shoot because as far as the legend is that there were congressmen and these were the last line of defense, and that was and they it wasn't just that she was coming through as everybody else was coming through, and there's then that's it. But there's
Wait,
no
can I
but
be
there's
like,
no weapon there
relative to
that
the-
bothers me. There should have been a
I
weapon.
genuinely appreciate the consistency. Like, I'm not even trying to be, but like, I do genuinely appreciate you saying that. Like, not a lot of right wingers would admit that about Ashley Babbitt. So the consistency I do respect. But now my question is, if you think that was a good shoot on Ashley Babbitt, do you think that had more of a justification for fear of what she might do past that barrier than if this person, the cop, was to the side of Rene Good's car and thought, oh, she might go run over a bunch of children? Do you think that was more justifiable in the Ashley Babbitt situation?
Grid, I'm
So-
gonna let you answer the question, and then we do have to move to another
Yeah,
one. So
all
go
right, that's
ahead.
fine. Yeah, so and hypothetically, right? If the cop was to the side of the car and he can, she does all of the same things, right? She takes the car out of park, the drive baby drive, all of that. She's constantly escalated. It's I think at that point, if he had a decent shot, I would say that that vehicle's a weapon now, and I think that he should have shot at her.
Okay.
All right, so 6 federal. Actually, real quick, I do want to read these real quick. We got the Real Caveman for $10 on YouTube. He said, and there it is, the PKA defense. She might attack someone later, so shoot her. This completely throws out the concept of imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. And then Head for Hydra on Twitch TV said, for $5, said, is the justification the same with 10,000 hypothetical pedophiles being driven through? I guess, Joe, if there was a possibility she was going to drive through 10,000 pedophiles, would you be upset if they had shot her? Do you think they should be charged afterwards?
Should they be charged? I don't see. I mean, I would be like, hey, great, she did that and she wiped them off, but I don't know how the two
No,
link
Joe, the
together,
question
like-
is, by shooting her because they
Yeah.
are, for whatever reason they shot her, they've prevented her from killing 10,000 pedophiles who then go on to offend. So do you think the officers should be charged for this?
Stupid fucking hypothetical, dude.
Well, I mean, is there
Very
not like
trolly.
more chances of there
Congratulations.
hitting a bunch of hypotheticals versus hitting a bunch of puppies?
I
mean,
think that just if
value
we just it
pedophiles,
doesn't
yeah.
matter who they hit. I don't think they would have been legally hit, right? Like she would have still done that illegally,
Okay.
right?
Fair enough. All right. So today, 6 federal prosecutors in Minnesota resigned after the Trump DOJ pressured them to stop investigating the shooting of Rene Good, and instead they wanted them to investigate Good and her fiance. The prosecutors afterwards did make statements, I believe, and said that they were that they were told that they had to stop. Do you Grid? Do you think that they should be pressured to stop investigating the shooting of Rene Good, or do you think there should be an investigation at least to clear him or to not clear him? But one way or the other, do you think there should be an investigation?
I mean, there's a federal investigation, right?
Well, that was they were the federal investigators.
Oh, I thought you said state. I'm sorry.
No, these are federal prosecutors in Minnesota.
I had not read that. Let me just really quickly look, because this sounds odd, but
Why does it sound odd to you, Grid?
why does it sound odd?
Yeah, why does it sound odd that the current administration, who lied demonstrably about what happened in the shooting, is pressuring the people that would otherwise investigate whether or not it was unjustified?
Why does it sound odd? Well, because if they're resigning because of something, and the reason that they're giving is pressure, but there's no proof of pressure, then I don't know, right? If they
Okay, let's say there's proof of
if they're
pressure.
fired, if they were literally fired, right, and Trump came in and said, "Hey, stop doing what you're doing," and you're all fired, that's another thing. So you're asking
Another
me
thing what?
something. Hold
Would you
on.
have
You're
wait,
asking-
wait. Would you have an
Stop.
issue with that?
You're asking me something I don't have any information on. So give me a second.
Okay, well, here's a hypothetical. Would you have an issue with Trump doing this?
Wait. Hold on. Before you finish your answer, you said that we don't have proof of that. It is 7 prosecutors that quit.
Sure.
How many would you?
Well, they could all be
say
lying,
would be
Tom.
enough before you would think that it's more likely or less likely? Grid.
I'm reading. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get caught up. I try not to.
Well,
here,
just
how
to
about
get
this?
to the
I can
hypothetical.
play a
Tom,
quick video.
please, let me ask. Tom, please. Tom, we don't have to. We don't. He doesn't have to read because it'll take him a while. Right? Look, Grid. You said this isn't Trump coming in and firing them, right? But what if it was? Would you be okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be okay with him just coming in and firing the federal prosecutors if they're without cause. If there's cause, sure, that's fine.
Okay,
But
what would the cause have to be?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, well, here the implication is that they're investigating the ICE officer, and the pressure is coming in and saying, "No, investigate the wife." If that was the cause that he gave and fired them, would you be okay with that?
If he fired them for that, no, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be okay with it.
Okay, so you're not okay with him firing them. Now, are you okay with him putting pressure on them? If hypothetically what they're saying is true.
Yeah, I'm okay, because if he's the chief law enforcement officer in the country, and if he says, "Hey, stop looking at that and look at that," and you disobey that, and you decide, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore," and you quit, then I don't actually have a problem with that.
Do you have a problem with the administration basically just making up their mind about what happened before there's any investigation, and also lying about the person who got killed? Kirsty Noem and Vance have both called her a domestic terrorist. Is that appropriate?
I don't know that she's a terrorist or not.
Do you
So I
think
don't
they
know
know?
if that's appropriate or not.
God, it's so fucking spineless, man. Not MAGA, by the way. Not MAGA. I don't know if she's really. Do you think Vance knows? Do you think Kirsty Noem knows if she's a domestic terrorist?
Do you know?
Is she being charged with domestic terrorism?
Do you know? Are you telling me that you know?
I know they have no evidence for it. Do they have any evidence? Have they said they have evidence?
Well,
Are they charging
They
her?
have evidence that she's part of a group that tracks ICE.
Is that a group that tracks ICE? What, to protest?
She
Is
was
that
there.
domestic
She
terrorism?
was there to protest and apparently a very odd way.
How did this happen?
Hey, do you
It's
think
like the
those, like,
fucking
frogs
violent
in front
frogs.
of- wait,
You're
do you think
saying
the
that you
frogs-
don't
wait,
want
no,
that
Grid,
person.
Grid,
Hold on,
Grid.
hold on. Stop.
No, Grid, you hold on.
You're
You
saying
hold
that
on.
you
Do
don't
think-
want that
Grid,
person
please,
investigated.
Grid. Do you think the frogs outside the ICE agency in Portland, do you think those are domestic terrorists?
I'm sorry, what?
The frogs, the people in frog costumes in Portland, do you think those are domestic terrorists?
I have no fucking clue.
Well, hold on. They're part of a group that may or may not track ICE and protest.
Did they do what this
Were
lady
they
did?
involved in a shooting? Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you mean involved in a shooting? She got shot at. What
Are they
the fuck?
literally
You mean got
interfering
shot?
in
They
ICE
got shot in the head?
operations?
No,
She got
they
shot by a
didn't
cop.
get
She was
shot in the
unarmed, but she was
head.
involved in a
I
shooting.
actually really
Domestic
want the
terrorism.
fucking answer to my actual question. You two
Yes, the
spineless
answer,
wimps.
Grid,
Do
the
you
answer is-
think?
the
Do
answer is-
you think that they should not investigate this woman and her wife?
I think it's fine to investigate them, but it's clearly
Okay.
getting pressure to not investigate the ICE officer who did the killing.
Do you see what the Martin Bailey is there as well? You're saying we should investigate her. We went from calling her a domestic terrorist to, do you know she's like, what? Is there a 0.0001 chance that she was part of fucking like Hamas America? I don't know, maybe. But realistically, how can you? So how many?
Hold on.
Not MAGA. Hang on. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not
information,
finished.
you
I'm not
guys
finished.
would
I'm not finished.
fucking
I'm just
try-
gonna.
This
I'm
is
just gonna
all
recap.
hearsay bullshit.
I'm just going to
Hold on,
recap
There's no
everything.
corroborating
I just want to
evidence at
recap
all.
everything that the administration has said
Hold on,
so far.
what
Not
about
MAGA, but you agree with Trump that it's a miracle that he's still alive. You agree that she intentionally, recklessly, and violently ran him over, and that you also believe that it's not inappropriate for Vance and Kirsty Noem to call them domestic terrorists. Not MAGA, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, whatever. Do you or do you not think that it's okay for them to investigate?
No one said anything about investigating them.
Okay,
Of course, you can
why
investigate
do you have
someone.
a problem with Trump putting pressure on the prosecutors to investigate those people?
Because he's
over the
already
top.
because
We
the
already know what the
administration is
cop-
already
like the
smearing
cop-
her as a
and
domestic terrorist.
There's internal things that are investigating a cop. Why are you so concerned about this? What is the and
Do
by
you
the
think
way,
I don't have?
by
Do you
the
think,
way,
sorry,
by
my
the
memory
way,
is not like
I
yours.
don't really give a shit about these prosecutors. They're just lawyers, and lawyers do shit all weird all the time. So I really don't care about these prosecutors. And just the statements that they've made in this article that I'm reading. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's just like we said this, and once a federal prosecutor said it won't be easy remaining assistant U.S. attorneys to press ahead with the fraud cases and all that. These are Minnesota people that are not Trump people. You're acting like these are Trump loyalists who suddenly stabbed him in the back because he doesn't want
No one said
to
this.
do that.
No, not a single person claimed that, Grid.
But that's what that was the framing.
No, the framing
That
was
they
people that
don't
are in
like this
charge
pressure.
of getting to the truth of the matter are being told by the administration,
We
who
don't
has
know
already
that's
shown
again.
that
these
is
are
their
what they're-
job.
that-
Grid,
This is what
please.
they're
Please,
claiming.
you're being so obtuse, it like hurts
This
my
is
head,
what
like, a
they're
little bit,
claiming, but I
can't
have no
believe you're this
evidence of
fucking
that
slow.
claim.
I want to ask a question. So, Grid.
Do you understand what hearsay is?
Grid,
You guys
if
know
I
what hearsay
Grid,
is?
if I
No, I've
hypothetically,
never heard of it.
if I
Well,
hypothetically,
apparently you haven't because this is what this
if
is.
Hold on,
I
let Lonerbox
hypothetically
go
like
ahead and
shat on
ask
your
the
mum's face and then you called me out for it and I said, oh what? So I just have to hold it in. I just can't shit ever. You think I'm making a dishonest argument when I say that, right? Yes or no?
I mean, it's an odd argument.
It would
sure.
be a dishonest argument. I'm not engaging
I
with
would
what you're
think so.
saying. Yeah. So
Well,
when I
wait,
say
Lonerbox,
there's
you
a
did say
problem with
earlier
Noam
that
and Vance,
I'm contending directly with
when
what
I
you're
say,
saying. You
when I
guys just
say,
don't like it.
when I say there's a
Just because
problem
you
with
don't like
Noam
it
and
doesn't
Vance,
make it the
when I'm saying
reality.
there's a problem with Noam and Vance, not saying we should investigate, but saying she is a domestic terrorist, and you say, oh what? You don't think
And
they
he
should
can
investigate
say
her?
that. He
And you
can
say,
be wrong
oh, you
about
don't
it.
think
What's
they should
your problem
investigate
with
her?
that?
Oh really? You think it's appropriate for the government to be giving opinions like that on someone who's just died?
Governments give opinions every day. You just don't like his opinions.
Really?
Well, his
In
opinion
terms
was
of
a
an
lie.
investigation, it's their administration that's going to do an investigation. Also, we're going to tell you already that they're a domestic terrorist. Can't imagine why that would be inappropriate legally.
So Lonerbox,
Well, hold on, but that doesn't answer my fucking question.
It's also a
Grid,
lie, to be clear. It's also a lie.
Hold on.
Is it a lie?
Hold on. Okay, so Grid did say earlier.
We don't know that that's a
like.
No,
that
it's
she's
a
not
lie.
there.
It's a
Hold on.
lie.
Hold
We
on.
do not know that.
If I call 100 people in the streets pedophiles, I'm not correct just because one of them happened to be. You have to have evidence for a claim. Otherwise, it's a lie. If I go into a football stadium
what do
and
you
I
got?
call everyone a pedophile, and it turns out I find out later on that one of them actually was I correct? No.
I'm sorry, Tom. What were you
I'm
saying?
just watching your brain try to fucking process that. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
so he is asking like if they should wait until they have if it's responsible for them to make statements about this and give conclusions about the outcome before there's a full investigation. Do you think that that's like
No,
good
and that's one of my big problems with basically all of the administrations lately is that they just say things before they have any knowledge, testimony, anything like that. It's not just Trump. It's basically fucking everybody. Everybody's so in a big hurry to be on the news, to get the sound clip, to get the sound bite out there. It's fucking appalling. So no, I have no problem calling out JD Vance for shooting his mouth off and saying something before he has the facts for it. But that has nothing to fucking do with the claim that these prosecutors are making, which is not backed up by anything but a press release and a news article.
Grid, how can you say it has nothing to do with it when you are admitting now
You understand that that's fucking, it's just hearsay. There's no evidence. There's nothing. You guys are saying shit. It does make a difference.
I thought
Grid,
I
makes a
said
difference.
a second ago that you didn't have a problem with him making a statement about this and giving his opinion when those prosecutors would be doing the same thing, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, Grid, you said just now, you acknowledged JD Vance shot his mouth off, and we are saying lied, because that is what he did. He obfuscated the facts of this case before he knew what happened. He lied about it, and you're saying this has nothing to do with those same people who lied about this case, pressuring federal prosecutors to not investigate the person that they're lying about? You don't think this is at all related?
I don't think that there's any, you know what, I would love to see the proof of the pressure. I want to see the notes from the White House to these prosecutors saying, don't investigate this.
Okay, and if you saw them and they existed,
yeah, then I would call out Trump 24/7. But you can't produce them because they don't exist.
Oh, so now you were claiming for a fact it didn't happen.
No, I'm just calling it before you do it.
You just said it didn't exist.
I'm calling it in the air. Calling it in the air because, and I'll wait. I'm very patient.
How much, Grid? How much you want? You want $100 bet right now that there is credible evidence that these people have been pressured. Go get it. What do you mean go get it?
Go find the evidence.
I think he's saying
right now.
I'm saying if the evidence comes out, you owe me $100, and if it doesn't come out, let's say
right now you are asked me about you asked me about the claim.
You made a prediction. I'm
not making a prediction. I'm saying that there's no evidence of this at this moment.
On it, dude. Like, what do you want? Fuck. Whatever, dude. I can't. Like, you're jumping around from positions. I don't know what to do.
Go get it.
Earlier, you asked. We asked Grid whether or not he was okay with them pressuring the prosecutors, and he did say that there was already an investigation. If they're according to Kristi Noem, the FBI is already investigating the shooting of from the officer and that entire scenario from that perspective. So if these DHS these DHS prosecutors are supposed to be investigating something else, and they have the FBI handling that aspect, but these these federal prosecutors continue to investigate anyways. Do you have a problem with them pressuring them to move on to the other?
Yeah, I mean, if they're derelict in their job, then yeah, they should be.
Hold on, I want to
be clear. Yes, I have a problem with the pressure coming down from the people who lied about it, saying don't investigate this further, who said this man is, everything is exculpatory before having the facts of the case. Yes, I don't trust them to put pressure on the people who may discover that that is not the case. Not at all.
So you're saying if they say that the FBI is investigating this already?
Yeah, if Kristi Noem says a thing after she just lied about this case and says, actually, they're handling it. The people that are, fucking run by Kash Patel, the most incompetent moron that's ever run the FBI. Yeah, I don't trust them. I'm not okay with it.
And Joe, do you trust the FBI to investigate this?
Do I trust them to? Like, what do you mean? What are you asking? Like, I just want
to be any more clear.
No, I'm saying I'm
reiterating. Do you trust Kash Patel's FBI to investigate the shooting of Rene Good when it seemed as first when Kristi Noem came out with a statement, already making a statement, she's put out on a plaque on her podium that said, one of ours, all of yours. Like, she seems to have already come to a pretty concrete conclusion on this. Do you trust them to actually do a fair investigation of this scenario?
Yeah, I don't know if I do. It feels like government overreach a little bit. I don't like it being politicized. I think that the law should just be exhausted and everything should be investigated without any kind of political bias.
Do you think that the administration is engaging in political bias by weighing in on a case that they don't know the facts about and lying about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, as long as you're not cool with that, because I think that's awful. So
I'm not cool with it.
And Grid, how did you feel about the plaque saying one of ours, all of yours?
Wait, what? Who said that?
the Christine Nome did a press conference recently with a plaque put on the front of her podium that said, "One of ours, all of yours."
I didn't see that, so I don't understand the context of that.
She's saying the ICE officer is one of ours, right? Is that what that means?
That's what the implication would be.
I only just
She
heard
was
about it
there
now, but yeah,
talking-
it's right. That's obvious. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a bunch of statements from lefties on like TikTok and crap like that trying to state that this is a Nazi slogan from SS officers and crap like that. That's totally untrue. It is just that from everything that I've read, that is fully debunked and just complete bullshit. But it does
Wow.
seem to be an implication that they are going to war with the left or the people who are protesting them, that they are kind of grouping them all together and saying, you took one of ours, so we're going to take all of yours.
Yeah, I have no idea. I will say that I think that the governors that are trying to put state agencies against federal agencies are doing the wrong thing. I certainly believe in states' rights over, federal overreach. But when it's a clear federal jurisdiction, the locals need to either stand aside or get pushed aside. I don't know that the FBI is really, I mean, I guess the FBI is the only real agency that they have that can investigate this, other than maybe the,
Federal
U.S.
prosecutors?
Marshals or
the
which
federal
they're not really
prosecutors.
investigators that much anymore. But yeah, I mean, certainly you don't want, DHS or Border Patrol or whatever to investigate their literal sister agency, where they share a lot of staffing. It's an interesting thing. I can certainly see the territorial nonsense that between agencies, between federal and state prosecutors, leaning on their federal prosecutors to push harder in specific directions. But I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, the best, I have a real problem with all of the knee-jerk responses from our politicians lately, and it's they really have to get their facts straight before they start talking.
Just to be clear, that I'm looking at it right now. The lectern said one of ours, all of yours, as if to say like you take one of our guys, we'll take all of yours, as if like a billion eyes for an eye. Is that the idea? Like,
It's a collective punishment. Is like the
it's so
implication.
fucking mad that you've got someone basically saying that, like, and like all of your
But hold
eyes
on,
for one
guys.
of ours, and then the response we
Hold
get
on.
from Grid is just like, well, I believe it's states' rights, and there are some really interesting questions about the division of powers and the separation
Yeah,
of the Constitution of
I don't know
the
anything
three
about the
branches, and I don't
sign.
know,
I
politicians are
haven't
just a
seen
little.
it. I don't care.
Look,
You
I
don't-
don't think it's
Why?
unreasonable.
You don't get to do that.
I don't
I've
think
never
it's
heard about that. Someone saying something like that. That's a fucking
I don't think it's
mental thing
unreasonable to
say.
see that both sides are gonna. If you flip a few,
Can you
things
imagine
in
if
this
like
scenario,
Merrick
Hold on,
Garland?
hold on.
is-
No, I got it. Yeah, I got.
Let Joe respond.
Yeah,
Let Joe respond.
I'm just saying, like we just know that politics are gonna politic. Like they're gonna.
That
What's
is
that
not
old
politics
saying? Like
politicking, you
never-
fucking idiot, man.
never
What are you
let
talking
it.
about?
You never, dude. Shut up, you cum guzzling cunt. I'm fucking talking. All right.
Well, careful
All
with the
right,
naughty
maybe-
words. You're gonna get banned off Kick too, dude.
Yeah, right, dude.
I didn't know
Anyway,
he knew about me and his mom's comment.
This guy, dude, you look like you actually fucking polished dome, bro. I wouldn't be talking.
Only your mom's.
But anyway, like if you
Got him,
if
bro.
you switch some
Wait,
things
what's wrong
around,
with the polished dome?
if you flip a few things around, then they're going to politicize the other way too. Let's say if we flipped the script, right? Let's say if we had Democrats in office and there was some kind of like BLM protest and some white supremacists showed up and they were told by the cops like, hey, this is a protected parade. Can you turn around? Could you not menace it around here? And they disagreed with the cops, tried to film them, mouthed off to them. And then, right when they're backing up, I guess, and the friend gets in and says, let's go, boys, white power, when they're saying, get the fuck out of the car, and there's a black lady cop in front of the white supremacist, and she pops a shot off or whatever. Yeah, I think if you flip those scenarios around, the Democrats are going to be like, you see, this is what happens, like, this kind of radicalization, blah, blah, blah. These were white supremacist terrorists, this and that. Politics, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah,
They're
your
gonna,
whole
like,
argument
in
is
your
what if the
hypothetical-
Democrats were as unhinged as MAGA? I'm sorry, this didn't happen though. Like, imagine if after January 6th you see fucking Merrick Garland going up and giving a fucking conference, and then there's a fucking lectern or a big sign behind him saying, "Fuck around, find out, eye for an eye, Babbitt." Like, sorry, that would be fucking mental, and we would never
say fuck around and find out about
No,
Babbitt.
Merrick Garland doesn't
You
say
are
that. Some Democrats do, but
really-
you will never see an elected politician saying anything
One guy,
remotely
yeah.
close to this because
Merrick
we're not
Garland said,
fucking
"Fuck
unhinged.
around and find out."
I'm not protecting. To be clear,
The day that it
I'm
happened.
not defending. I'm not defending Trump's administration. That's what I'm.
Oh,
all
yeah,
I'm saying is
all-
that
But you
both
just said,
sides
imagine
do
if the Democrats did it. You just imagine
both
if
sides
the
do
Democrats.
it. Both sides.
Okay,
both
what is
sides do
what is
that.
the equivalent of the Democrats after a Republican has just been killed saying one of ours, all of yours, eye for an eye, bitch, fuck around, find. Where the fuck are we seeing this from a Democrat like head of office?
After a Republican has been killed,
Yeah.
and the Democrats are saying, fuck
And
around
Merrick
find
Garland
out?
has a big fucking sign in his press conference saying "fuck around, find out," or one of ours, all of yours, or eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Get fuck. Where are we seeing that? When has that ever happened? That hasn't happened. From a
Well,
politician.
Yeah, something just like this hasn't happened, right? Because we're not a country currently
Anything-
swarming with a bunch of white supremacists. We're swarming with a bunch of crazy fucking leftists that are out there causing the most violence in the
Joe, he
streets. I'm
said
sorry.
in response to January 6th, which is the thing that happened actually.
Yeah, was there any Merrick
No,
Garland
that would-
fuck and find out for Ashley Babbitt? One of ours, that's so fucking
No.
crazy, man. That's like one of the maddest things I've ever
No,
seen.
for this one guy, no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, but there was plenty of, Democrats and left-leaning people who are like, yeah, fuck around.
Can you
and find
name a
out,
single
dumb bitch.
politician?
Any politicians, yeah?
Not off the top of my.
No, you
not
can't.
off
Because
the-
Because
we
it
know
doesn't
that the
exist.
MAGA
I'm
machine
not
would be all
defending.
over
I'm not
it.
defending the politicians.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're trying
not
to say that
defending the
but
politicians.
you're trying to say the
Hold on.
Democrats do the
So
same, and you have any examples? You
Hold on.
see what we mean by like
Joe,
not MAGA, but you're kind of defending them
defending
like tooth and nail.
I'm saying I
on,
could
Joe,
see a
Joe, Joe,
hypothetical where you
hold
flip a few
Hold on.
things and it's a
Hold
different
on.
outcome.
Hold on, Joe.
Yeah.
So you understand? Well, yes,
Okay.
you are saying you're not defending it, and they are pointing out like a difference in leadership, right? So when we're talking about like politicians who are running the country, people who we would all like hold accountable, some random person on TikTok, yeah, we can all say it's bad, but like these aren't people who like we elected to a public office. And so when somebody who's actually in office says these things, it's very different because these are actual like leaders within our country that are held to a very different standard than some 15-year-old on TikTok. And so like when we're talking about what
Sure.
it is that they're saying, they're asking you like, do you see an actual equivocation
Yeah, no.
between what it is
I'm-
that Democrats say and what it is that
Because
the
I'm
Trump
here.
No,
they're-
he's imagining
administration
one though.
says.
The
That's
ones
what
that they're the ones actually equivocating though, because I'm talking about a hypothetical, and they're asking me, well, when did that really happen? Right? Like, no, dumb fuck.
Right,
Listen
but the
to me.
point is you
It's
have to invent a
hypothetical.
scenario where this keeps happening from the right? Like there's a clear difference in standards from the politicians where one of them is willing to say insane shit and
No,
the
I'm-
Democrats
I'm-
aren't.
I'm talking about just this incident. If you flipped
Mhm.
a few things, it's very possible, hypothetically, that they could weaponize it politically the other way.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying they've done
All right.
it. I'm not
By
saying this or
implication,
that.
it
It's a
hasn't happened. If you
hypothetical.
keep saying it's possible hypothetically, yeah.
All right,
Right.
It's
and
a
then
hypothetical.
the last thing,
dipshit.
last
Oh, it happened in the hypothetical.
again, if
Okay,
you guys want to,
gotcha.
as we're gonna wrap up here shortly. If you guys have any questions, again, you can send those questions through super chats or through the link in my chat. But after the shooting of Rene Good, we saw a lot of videos coming out of ICE officers going up to cars and going up to people who were protesting, saying things like, haven't you learned your lesson? You need to stop following us. You need to stop filming us, grabbing their phones and saying like, you
This
don't
is why
want
that
what happened
lesbian
to
bitch
her
got
to
shot.
happen
I
to
think I saw
you.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, stuff like that. The obviously the implication is that they're trying to stop people from protesting. But Soypill, do you think if there are people who continue to impede them from like making arrests, if they're even honking horns to where it's hard for people to understand their orders or hear what it is they're saying, even these scenarios could create more high tense scenarios where things like this are more likely to happen. Do you think that these officers are like unjustified for trying to dissuade these people from doing things like this?
To be clear, I think the language you used there was incredibly soft. Are the officers unjustified to dissuade people from protesting? No, if they're like, hey, you need to get out of here, or like, hey, move your car, lady, or can you stop honking? I'm trying to do my, bullshit, rounding up of people. Maybe. But that's not what's happening, because you just described the videos, them going up and being like, oh, we fucking killed her and we'll do it to you too. Haven't you learned your lesson? Absolutely not. This is fucking insane, unhinged behavior from people who have no business holding a weapon, who have no business having any authority over anyone. And I'm fully on the abolish ICE train now. I think there's no reforming this. They need to go the fuck away. We'll have a different organization do immigration enforcement, because these people are fucking crazy.
So woke based.
What do you think, Ruth?
Is there actually a video of somebody going up there and saying that?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them now.
No, what Soypill said.
Happened. I don't know.
I paraphrased, but there was definitely
No.
let me find
Okay.
that
What
one.
was actually said?
Well, there's several.
There's a
so
couple of
I'm
them where they
combining
say things
several.
like, there's a couple of them where they say, didn't you guys learn your lesson after the last one? There's one where they say, you don't want what happened to her to happen to you too. There's a number of them now where they kind of say something alluding to, if you keep doing what you're doing now, you will end up like Rene Good.
Is that not the case though?
That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, it would seem to be the case that if you attack armed men, you might potentially get shot.
Or if you don't attack them.
Yeah, or if you drive away from them. That's crazy. Hey, I just linked it. This is hearsay. To be fair, this is someone describing them saying it to them. That calling her a lesbian bitch was not on video, according to this person. This is her repeating. So she could be embellishing. I'll admit that.
But yeah, like to people who obviously think that the shooting is unjustified and there isn't even a full investigation out again, that it might seem a bit insensitive, or even as though you're threatening to murder people if they consider this murder. If you're saying what happened to this person could happen to you, seems as though to a lot of these people they feel as though they're being threatened with murder.
I mean, I think it honestly, to me, it seems fairly simple, right? I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Right?
Just in case that wasn't clear, Tom, what he's saying is I'd rather have the jury exonerate me and or not than get carried out in a coffin by 6 people.
Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, look, you have officers getting treated very poorly, which, I mean, they signed up for. I'm not excusing their behavior at all, but people are people. Some people have bad days.
You literally just excused the behavior, by the way, immediately after saying that. That's what excusing their behavior means.
Isn't it? Was I saying this? Were they saying this to people who were rioting or to protesters?
They're saying this to protesters, and I think 2 of the videos that I'm quoting were of people in cars who were following them.
So these people are getting these warnings. They're not. Wait, so these people who are getting these warnings they're not attacking cops. Not all of them.
No, they're
anyway.
filming them, which is even more dangerous.
So,
in fact, based on that criteria, I think this guy was threatening this woman's life. He had a camera pointed directly at her face, right?
Yeah, and some phones and communication devices can explode.
That's true.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you guys all give a closing statement before we head out, and then also make sure to shout out your channels and let everybody know where they can find you. We will start off with Lonerbox.
It's kind of easy to lose sight over what ICE is even trying to do. I mean, Trump's had a year. It doesn't seem like this whole idea that they've been talking about getting rid of all of the illegals is ever really coming close to fruition. I don't really know what their goal is. Apparently there are like 14 million odd illegal immigrants in the United States, as the estimates, and that's not even to mention 30 million of whom came under Biden maths. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like whatever's going on with that institution, it just needs to go, and they need to start again until we can find out what the hell is going on. Fucked.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I just, in general, I don't really trust the cops offhand to make best judgments. I don't really trust law enforcement very much. If I'm going to give advice to somebody who's like my friend or family, my advice with dealing with cops is going to be just do what they say. Don't resist, right? And I think that is just the major failure here, is that you are acting aggressive around people with guns who deal with some of the worst of humanity on a daily basis. And a lot of people, I don't think they take that into account when they decide to mouth off or resist a cop's orders. I just think in general, that is always a bad idea. What's going to happen legally down the road is going to be figured out by better minds than myself. I just think in general, it is incredibly stupid to mouth off or like be aggressive towards the guy with the gun. It's not even justified, really. If it's a robber holding you up at gunpoint, you should still listen and just hand over your fucking wallet. So that's my general advice. This seems like just another sad game of, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
All right, and where can people find you again?
I'm at KungFuJoe _ on Twitch, but I'm on a 7-day ban at the moment. I'll be back soon.
Wait,
You
on
find me
Twitch
on
is your
Twitter at-
profile picture the same as Discord? It's the one where you're in the Burger King crown where the
Yeah.
guy says the N-word? Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yep.
All right, Soypill.
Yeah, this is so ridiculous. I mean, it's very clear to me that the administration is lying about this, that they're pressuring people to not investigate this mishandling by ICE. And if this was an isolated incident, by the way, I don't think these people came into here and they're like, yeah, I can't wait to shoot that woman. I think this is a perfect storm of untrained people in high stress scenarios, and we put all of the onus on the people that are getting shot at, getting strangled to death, getting ripped out of their cars, being locked up unjustly, and none of the onus on the people that are supposed to be like have the responsibility to carry weapons and potentially legally kill people. It's insane to me. ICE has shown time and time again that they're incompetent, that they're going and doing things that they shouldn't be. They're locking up people. They're evading due process. Like, it's just this whole big mess of an institution. And, in the same way that it's poison to say abolish the police, because I don't think we should abolish the police. We need to enforce the law. I thought in saying abolish ICE was some like, hey, this is completely untenable, but there's a reason now that there's like more than 50% support for this. It's because this is fucking insane, and these people need to disappear, and there should be Nuremberg trials for these fucking crazy retards, and also physical fitness tests, because God, are they so fat. I'm the Soypill. You can find me at the Soypill. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome, appreciate it. And Grid.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tom. First of all, normally I would say that I'm the only person who could make the little speech I'm about to make, but Tom has told me some things that he might have been in the same situation, but I'm pretty sure I'm, other than potentially Tom, I'm the only person on the panel that has actually had an officer pull their gun on them and look down the barrel of that son of a bitch. And, I did exactly what the cop said, and I didn't get shot. I was a young man at the time, full of vim and vigor, but I didn't get shot because I did what I was told to do, and I kept things very calm. Seems like one of the things we lack in this country is any damn common sense, and I think we've proven it here tonight listening to Soypill and the Lonerbox. Common sense is no longer common, and they are not common at all. I do appreciate engaging with them, though. I always like engaging with Soypill. Soypill's got a lot of oomph, and I like that. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Thanks.
It was really good. I honestly didn't. I prepared in the opposite direction tonight, Tom. So I was like, half of this I was out to fucking lunch, which is fine. But ladies and gentlemen, don't fuck around with cops. I don't like cops. I understand they got a tough job. I know a lot of cops. I don't like them. I don't have any friends that are cops. I have cops that are, they're acquaintances. But I know that given the motivation, they will put me in fucking handcuffs or worse. So I don't give them that. It seems like we've lost a little bit of direction in this country and we need to get it back. You can point at Trump. It's a good target. You can't miss him. But you guys should try harder. Be better. Elevate a little bit. I can be found at An Unreasonable Man on YouTube and Twitch, sometimes Rumble. And I just launched a new channel, Gun Prattle, where I talk about competitive shooting and all things firearm related several times a week. Again, Tom, it's great being on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys coming. Just to clarify, I have not had guns from cops pointed at me. I've had guns from regular people pointed at me, but I was attacked by officers. I did comply. I did everything they told me to. They shattered my kneecap and tried to kill me. So
we had opposite experiences, Tom.
I will always advise people to do what it is that the cop says. I understand that my scenario is a freak scenario. That is not the majority of the time. Most of the time, you are best off complying and doing what it is that the officers tell you to. That's not all the time, but most of the time that is what I would recommend. But I do appreciate everybody coming. I know on my side I had a lot of production problems. I apologize for that. This is the first one that we're doing. The idea is to have a higher production quality, and so that's the part that we're trying to work on, and we're going to have to make some adjustments going forward, but we'll definitely get there. And I appreciate everybody showing up. Appreciate you guys coming and doing this, and we'll do more panels hopefully in the future. So hope to invite you guys back. Thanks for showing up.
Yep, it's a good time.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
Yep.
Later.
You too.
Have it.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Where the fuck is my fucking camera? That closing statement, what the fuck? Be better. You guys all need to be better. Be better. What's going on? Oh yeah, I showed this on my screen during the debate, but I think it probably didn't make any sense. Basically, this fucking Vadim dipshit is Sleepy Vadim is having a go at me for fucking Spider again, getting me in fucking hot mess. Because he basically took a clip from Asmongold's stream of Asmongold watching me shitting on Hassan about the sanctions and just agreeing with everything I'm saying, and then also like embellishing a little bit and saying a couple of things I don't agree with, which I don't actually like, by the way. I will make it clear, because I don't like Asmongold being right that the fucking Islamic Republic of Iran is a bad regime. It's not like a W, okay? It's just like oh wow, like this fucking crazy person who is basically, because like Asmongold's position, to be clear, is in policy. Asmongold actually supports a lot of things about the Islamic Republic. He supports like brutal, fucking disproportionate sentences for even petty criminals to set an example, right? And he believes in foregoing due process, so like in the name of like common man wisdom and shit like that. Yeah, he's got quite a lot in common with the Ayatollah. So, yeah. Their views on women, my God, the amount of bitching that Asmongold has about women. Ayatollah, not that different. Liberal woman. Before he was mouthing about America specifically, he spoke a lot about fucking women, particularly their skirts. He had a real issue with the little skirts. So, but yeah, people are saying that it's me like associating with fucking fascists or whatever. I'm like, okay. But whatever. Like, I hope you understand, Spider. Like, I do not like Asmongold. I do not like his politics. I hate his politics. I think he, and I'm not giving him positive coverage ever, even if I agree with him on something. I'll just be like, oh wow, the bare minimum usually. Yeah. But yeah, Vadim dipshit is trying to say that it was about the sanctions and the regime. So I asked Mr. fucking Sleepyhead what I said that was wrong, but he didn't reply. Where'd I go? Hang on. I asked him twice, 3 times actually, what I said that was wrong in this clip, but he doesn't seem to have an answer. And he won't say nothing. He won't answer positively. Rip. Poor guy. Yeah, for real, we're going to have to do a lot more shit tomorrow, hopefully, or maybe the day after. Don't be ableist. What? Tempest, thanks for the $5. Missed the debate, but here's for the goal. It's just common sense. Oh, thank you so much. User, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Not trying hard enough box. True. Ew, thanks for the $9.99. A car can be used as a weapon? Never heard of it. You're telling me this for the first time. I think we should move off this point now, smiley face. Ew, thanks for the $9.99. Classic. Oh my god, I've never heard this. I cannot possibly think on the spot. Ew, thanks for the $9.99 again. Guys, I heard Ashley Babbitt was involved in a shooting. I could not fucking believe that, man. Where did those guys come from? It is weird, man. Like, yeah, MAGA just they're shy. They're embarrassed. What is with this thing? Like, oh, I'm not MAGA. Oh, I'm not I'm not right winger. I'm a centrist. Like, what's this about? Why? Why do they do that? I mean, I know why. It's because they are objectively fucking indefensible. MH, thanks for the $5. USB cable 33, thanks for £5. Here from Soy Stream, want to say you were in absolute mood right now doing God's work, my friend. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. New viewer, Soy. Jane Socks, thanks for $10. I'm convinced these guys are a psyop to make me Fed post. Fun. Jord, thanks for the $10. First responders observed 2 gunshot wounds on the right side of Good's chest. 1 on her left forearm and 1 with protruding tissue on the side of the patient's head. Okay. My BFF shotgun, thanks for the tier 2 sub. ZJM, thanks for $5. Loner debating some intellectual titans over here. Bundle of Basil, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Free diagram, thanks for the $20. That's so generous of you. Wow. That guy doesn't exist. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs. That's also very generous. Meme, thanks for the $4.99. Stream goal, let's go.
Night. Also, Spider, get your shekels up and stop slopping.
True. ZJM, thanks for the $1.99. The $0.99, sorry, wow. Mackie Hilden, thanks for $5. Not sure who the super chat money goes to, but I wanted to show appreciation to the channel owner and Lonerbox. Keep the fight for liberalism, dudes. So I'm the channel owner, don't worry. I'm the boss. Flor Iglesias, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Please, oh please, sire, no more Asmongold slop. Oh, we've got so much coming, don't worry. ZJM, thanks for the tier 2 sub. Hi, hey, hello, true. Mr. Savage, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Wooden Personality, thanks for £5. Super chat goal routine must be sustained. Praise the isolated cuboid. True. Is that me? Good meme. Seaman, thanks for the tier 2 sub. Meme, thanks for the $4.99. Kept you waiting, yeah. Captain Dan the Fireman, thanks for $5. I swear I was drinking scotch before you went live. Cute. Will Game, thanks for the tier 1 sub. And finally, Indiscret, thank you so much for the $10. What a generous audience. Could be more generous. Oh, but not bad, guys. I didn't even ask. Didn't even ask for money today. We got a few new subs as well. Is that from Soypill, probably, his audience? Man, I feel so bad. We've missed so much fucking news coverage. Like, Iran has had like one of the such a fucking historic day, or a couple of weeks now, and we just haven't really covered any of it. The fuck. I guess it's like it's hard to cover stuff like on the spot, but even if it was just looking up new videos and reading articles on stream, like fucking agenda free and breaking and shit, like I think that would still be good. Speaking of the soy pill, why are people bringing up my election takes 1 year after that election, which led to the current administration? Can you imagine the audacity if they bring it up next year too, or God forbid, up to 4 years after that election? Very funny not to acknowledge the problems with the campaign, same as the harm reduction narrative failure as an election strategy. Luckily, most voters aren't as stupid as you. One day we'll defeat the GOP and you'll act like you were there all along, just like you all did with Zoran. Establishment Democrats have won elections in the United States. When in the fuck has your lot, this fucking ideology of yours ever won an election? I'm sorry, what do you mean? One day we'll defeat the GOP. What? And you'll act like you were there all along. What are you talking about? Well, one day, no, Biden defeated the GOP. Clinton defeated the GOP. Obama defeated the GOP. When did you guys ever show any indication? Fuck me, because Zoran won. Nice. One bro thinks he's on the team. Vadim's not even responding to me, dude. He's a fucking coward. I don't know. He's very. I feel like a lot of these people are really comfortable fighting Hutch, but not me. Why is that? I feel like Hutch gets all the. He gets all the wankers. Why don't I get any wanker? What the fuck? Where are my wankers? Is it because Hutch is nicer in calls? Yeah, probably. Doesn't he lets people get away with fucking murder? Brackets not answering the question. Yeah. Zoran is being disowned by Hassan's people. Yeah, but Hassan has two principles. One is retarded tankyism, and the other one is clout. And Zoran might give up on some of the retarded tankyism, but he has a lot of clout. Hedging. Hutch doesn't call them cunts. But what if they are cunts? They are. One ought to call a cunt. A cunt. What? Man, there's so much fucking memes that I've missed on. It's so funny, like bookmarking and then for stuff for stream, but then realizing, oh shit, there's actually a lot here. There's a lot. Ice Agent reacts to Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's what I would have did. I said earlier, right? So that's the technique. If you're gonna, he's there. Yeah, that's what I would have did.
So true. I think that's a good summary. Dude, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy, man? This guy, I think he's like some low-level Republican dipshit. Who is he? Former journalist, Congress candidate. He's a candidate. He's not even a... Is he even in fucking office? He's a candidate. This guy, Austin Ayers, I don't know what the fuck he said. This dude has been yapping a whole load of shit about Rene Good and the shooting. Even recently. Now, it's easy to make a value judgment about this guy because his neck is the same size as his head. But it's not just that. It's that he published some fucking videos claiming to be harassed by callers. And it's just really funny, like what's actually in the messages here. Yeah, the voice messages that he received. Oh yeah, this is the first one. This is the Democrats calling my office. I was like, oh no, what did they say? We were thinking about what's examples of Democrats being as bad as Republicans. These are regular citizens, right? These aren't legislators. These are just regular citizens calling this guy.
Hey, Austin, your social media post about you being happy they domed that woman and calling other people retards isn't very professional. How about you go ahead and dome yourself? Find an ICE agent, put the gun in your mouth, and pull the trigger, and make the world a better place. And what's funny is you'll be able to shoot yourself in the head and your neck and your fucking shoulder at the same time because you don't have a neck. You look like an inbred subhuman piece of garbage, and you just need to kill yourself. Have a good one.
Hello,
North
this is
Carolina,
Cam
is it?
Keebler, 919-538-0149. I'd like to ask Mr. Ayers a question. Why are you calling North Carolina residents retards? Seems a pretty poor tact for someone trying to run and represent the people, you piece of shit. Go fuck yourself.
Hey,
Hi, Austin. My name is Phil Williams. I'm calling because you're a fucking moron. It is disgusting seeing you taking joy in celebrating the murder of a U.S. citizen by ICE agents. Even if, you know, she had tried to assault an ICE officer, which the video shows she doesn't, and I don't care what your AI-generated bullshit you share on social media says. It's bullshit. But celebrating the death of a mother, you are disgusting. Right? I bet you call yourself a Christian. You're not. You're a piece of shit. I hope you rot in hell, you fat fuck. Grow a fucking neck while you're at it.
what did he say? Did he say rope your neck?
Fat fuck. Grow a fucking neck while you're at it.
Grow a fucking neck. He has too much neck. What are you talking about? Maybe it's because this is a really tight shirt and it's just taken all of his bits of his fucking pectoral muscles up to squeezed it up to his neck. This guy's got plenty of neck, man. It's quite hard to tell where it begins.
Dude, what's wrong with you? Why are you posting AI images on, like, fucking Facebook and shit and calling constituents retards?
Immune to uppercuts. Yeah, there's no way, man. No chance. You try to uppercut this guy, you'd have to just go between his legs to uppercut him meaningfully. Everything else is just...
Like, what is wrong with you?
You put your hand in there for an uppercut, it might never come back.
Like, I hope nothing but the worst for you. Nothing but the worst. You're an idiot and an asshole. Hi, I just, again, wanted to say that you're a no-neck, mayonnaise-looking piece of shit. You're just a piece of shit. You're an actual piece of shit. I hope you die.
Hello, Austin.
Is that Maritzi? Maybe. No neck piece of shit.
I'm a constituent, and I just wanted to let it known that I think you are absolute scum of the earth for what you're saying in regards to the woman that was murdered in Minneapolis. I've seen your Facebook posts. They're going very viral. You're an evil man, and you do not deserve to hold any public office in the amazing state of North Carolina. You should be deeply ashamed of yourself, and go fuck yourself as well.
It's really funny as well because these guys are like saying like the great state of North Carolina, like the way they're talking. They sound like just like regular fucking like Democrats. Like they don't sound like extreme. Usually people with extreme political ideology will throw in like jargon or something like that. But yeah, these guys just sound like. Are these the resistance libs we've been waiting for?
Hey, Austin, you're a retard.
Hey, Austin. Just wondering what kind of libertarian gets his shriveled little dick hard when they see cops murder people. You actual faggot. You sound like a bitch.
Jesus. Disavow. It's like that video of that fucking woman, that really old woman at a protest, like laughing at someone saying like, oh yeah, they think we all deserve to rope or something, and she's just laughing at it. Yeah, I feel like these liberal wine mums and like regular old Democrats are like, yeah, they're fairly on it.
Hello there, Austin. I'm a constituent within your district. I'm a registered Republican voter, I might add. I voted for Trump in both of these elections, and I am deeply bothered by your comments on Facebook. And I am ashamed to call myself a Republican alongside you and
Whoa.
this madman running our country. You and him and his entire MAGA cult are evil and should be ashamed to call yourselves Americans and fellow Republicans.
Damn, that's the last moderate Republican in North Carolina. Hell yeah.
Hey, you fucking pussy. You put on Facebook a picture of an AI-generated article of fucking Rene Nicole Good running over that man when she did no such thing, you piece of shit scum. Go to fucking hell.
Damn.
How does it feel being a little cultist piggy, huh? Big old fatty. You should go to hell. Fuck yourself.
Oh God. And that's only half of it. More voicemails left by the left.
Hey, this is
That
William
left,
Oliver.
including
My
that.
phone
Hang
number
on,
is
wait,
not.
what the fuck? Why won't it fucking pause? What? Why won't you pause? What's wrong? Okay, let's just go.
Hey, this is William Oliver. My phone number is 910-664-3369. And I'm just calling about to ask a question about your anti-LGBT stance, because I thought you were conservative, but online you're acting like the biggest faggot in the world. All right, have a nice day, Austin.
What the fuck, man? God. How I don't know, outside of online spaces, how normal is it for like non-right wingers to talk like that? I don't maybe it is actually still normal. I don't know. Huh.
Hey, fascist piggy, it's me again. Just wanted to let you know that you're an enemy of the state. Go fuck yourself. You know, Piggy, I had a question for you. Does fascism, make your micro penis appear? Does it just make it grow a little bit? Or, I don't know. I've never found a pig before with such a small micro penis. I bet you can't satisfy, if you even have a wife with it, which I highly doubt any woman would ever want to touch you, Piggy. Go back to sucking Trump's dick, you fascist fuck. Oink, 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 piggy, piggy, piggy. You know, Piggy, I love how we have a nation of free speech because I can call you in your shitty office and I get to do this as many times as I want because you're a fascist piggy. Isn't that great? I've never seen a man with such a huge fupa before, but I mean, I guess there's a first for everything. Isn't that right, Piggy? Go to hell.
Is this the same person over and over? Who's this? Who's this?
You know, you fat tub of lard, you say that you move North Carolina forward, but it's kind of hard to believe that when you're as tubby as you are, Piggy. If anything, you're sitting in the same place because you're just a giant goddamn boulder, you fat fucking fascist pig. Again,
This is
go
just the
to
same
hell,
guy.
find Jesus, and just, I don't know, lose some weight, fatty.
Oh, here he is
You know,
again.
Piggy, isn't it pretty un-American that you kind of want to change around the Constitution so that Trump can run again in 2028? I mean, it doesn't really get more un-American than that, you fascist fucking piggy.
Oh, here's an anonymous one. Okay, maybe he blocked the number so the person had to. Fuck it, this guy's getting properly fucking one-guyed.
Eat shit, you nasty fucking MAGA cunt.
Oh, that's bad. Look at all these from the same number. That's quite dark in the United States, isn't it? If someone uses the C word, if someone deploys the cunt, that's when shit's real. I feel like when Americans say cunt, like the room goes quiet. Like, oh, he means it. We don't really have a word for that in Scotland. We don't really have. We don't have a special word. Okay, that guy maybe just had a wank on the. Okay. That's not good. That's inappropriate. Fucking hell. They went dark. They went dark.
Wow, you're a racist piece of fucking shit. That's all I gotta say.
That's
If you'd
better.
like to reply back, just call me back.
That's good. That's That's a meat and potatoes, salt of the earth kind of comment. Straight to the point. Dark Gooner woke.
Hi, you're a total scumbag. You're a clown. Austin, you're an embarrassment. You should drop out now. You racist, stupid cracker.
Hey. That guy was trying. Piggy. Fucking hell. Subscribe, you fucking assholes. I mean, sorry.